A good game tonight. Interesting to see just how this Ashley Ridge team responds to that difficult loss last week.
Jaden Coger with the stop on the Carlton County, the far sideline, as Matt Duncan leads the Ashley Ridge offense out. An offense that has the potential to put up some points. It's led by Duncan, Proctor Floyd, Cheryl McAfee, Linton, Chavis, Brown, Corey, Pellcraft, and Petrick make up the offensive line.
As with any case, Dean, it's going to be very important really for both teams to establish the rushing game. That'll make it easier for both quarterbacks to throw it. So whoever can establish the ground game first probably will have a great chance of having success tonight.
Well, Ashley Ridge likes to set four guys up on the outside. All of them have put up impressive numbers so far. 19, Troy Chavis, he's set out with McAfee on the near sideline as a 5-yard penalty is called against Colleton County. Not the way that Kobe Peeler wanted to see this night start.
Both teams very young, Dean, on both sides of the football. One of the things both coaches talked about was establishing culture here at Ashley Ridge as well as Colleton County.
That Duncan handoff inside to Cunningham is going to pick up close to the first down.
Right now, both teams just trying to obviously feel each other out. I think it's so important, especially for Colleton County looking for their first win of the season. And as we mentioned, Ashley Ridge trying to bounce back. That they kind of get off to a quick start and kind of get that momentum that both teams desperately need.
Ashley Ridge has the ability to do so many different things. Cunningham's got the speed. Duncan has the arm. Bad snap. Duncan going to fall on the ball. Smart play by the sophomore. It's going to be a loss of 16 yards on the play. You go from second and short to third and 16 right now on the bad snap. But again, a young quarterback like that, to show the presence of mind of not to pick it up and try to advance the football, just cover it up and take your loss.
And as you mentioned, Dean, we had a lot of rain earlier on, so you have to figure the ground's going to be somewhat wet. It's going to be a wet football. Both teams will have to protect the football here tonight.
So third and 16, trips to the left, Cunningham up the middle. And the ball thrown just a little bit behind his receiver. That's number 14, Josh Litton, going across the seam. But what a great play by the cornerback of Colleton County to kind of jump the route a little bit and break up the pass. I thought for a minute there was a chance at the interception.
A nice job by the senior Devin Kinsey there on the coverage, and that's the type of start that Colleton County desperately needed to get a 3-and-out. And now they'll have a chance to get their hands on the football.
Kobe Peeler told me today this is as fast a team that he's had in quite some time. He likes the speed. It's Alex Lazique with the kick. And a nice return up the middle, a flag coming in from the backside.
You saw the shiftiness that time on the return by Colleton County. Colleton County has never lacked athletes. Great athleticism from their days when they were Walter Bar High School, and of course now merged to make Colleton County. So that's one thing that Kobe Peeler talked about, was getting the athletes to come out and play football. Now, keys to tonight's game for Ashley Ridge, balancing act. We talked about it. You have to be able to run the football, put the pedal to the metal. For Colleton County, run, Cougs, run. Big play busters. They've got to establish the ground game and then put the ball in the hands of their outstanding quarterback, Craig Grant, and let him make plays out in the open.
All right, so Colleton County's nice return negated by a penalty, I believe a push in the back. They will get things going from the 16-yard line.
And that's a penalty, Dean, that really wasn't necessary. He was beyond, obviously, the play. Just let it go and see what happens. But now you negated what would have been pretty good field position.
There's a big quarterback, 6'3", 220. Nice throw to the outside. That's Tyrese Pressey, all 6'2", 190 pounds of him.
You know, we talk about Craig Grant and his size. When you look at the quarterbacks now, that's the typical quarterback. Athlete, 6'4", 220, big, strong guy. That looks more like a linebacker, but also has a great arm. That's why he's the quarterback.
Here's your Chevy Silverado starting lineup for Colleton is Grant, Pressey, Ferguson, Murray, Williams, and Nieves. Offensive line, Nixon and West on down the line. Grant across the middle, a nice block inside by number 2. Oh my goodness. That's what you like to see from your wide receivers. Tristan Nevis with the block, and they are going to go ahead and throw a flag on that play.
Yeah, not sure where the flag came from. A big block as you mentioned, by Nieves Tristan, springing his teammate what we thought would have been for a big play, but looks like it's going to come back, Dean. And the injured Swamp Fox. It's Rhett Butcher. He definitely took a big hit on that particular play.
Junior, 6 foot 185. Here's your Chevy Silverado Ashley Ridge defensive starting lineup. Jaheim President. The name sounds familiar. It is. We'll tell you why. Jack Bruffy, Jackson, Dubois, Butcher, Dennis Aiken fills out the linebacker slots, and then Kennedy, Smith, Oldham, and Hill. An interception last week by defensive back Oldham in that game. I think they're looking up at the head region. I think that's going to be the call, is that the helmet comes in.
Yeah, he never saw that coming. Kind of blindsided. What Pate thought was and good to see him up and walking off on his own. Looked like just a football play to me, Dean, but apparently the officials did not see it that way.
Well, another big play negated by a penalty. They will go back, second down from the 14-yard line.
Last week Carlton County had a solid effort, solid showing against Fort Dorchester, but when you talked with the coach, Kobe Peeler, it's one of those situations when what's happened so far through the first two games, when one bad thing happens, it seems to send the team in a downward spiral. So let's see if they can regroup from the penalty.
Yeah, he talked about how, especially against in that first game, they were down a couple of touchdowns. They tied the game at 14, and then it got away from them. They just weren't able, to compose themselves. But that is, that's the sign of a young team, a team that hasn't won a lot. As Grant took that ball up the middle for 3 yards.
Anthony Jackson there on the stop for Ashley Ridge. We'll have a timeout right now. A very choppy start to this ball game.
All right, at this time, we're a great time to send it down to our sideline reporter, our third member of the team tonight, ABC News 4's Erica Scrippa. Hey, Erica.
We're live right now. The storm has passed. Hopefully it stays there. We had a few sprinkles a couple of minutes ago, but it's looking good so far. Going here, we're home at Ashley Ridge playing the Colleton County Cougars. Looking forward to a great game here in Somerville for Friday Night Rivals. Back to you guys.
All right, Erica, thanks so much. Erica takes care of the traffic situation for us on ABC News 4 on Good Morning Charleston, starting at 5 a.m. And she knows now that you watch, so every morning she's just going to say, Everett, time to get up.
It's time to get up, time to get my day started. But what I need to now do, Dean, is to transit that into watching her while I'm at the gym. Try to get the workout in the morning, so when I'm on the treadmill or lifting, I can watch Erica, and she can tell me which way to go when I go home. There you go.
Third down and 11, ball on the 15-yard line. Grant again, these numbers impressive, 6'3", 230. He's got 4 receivers, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. He's going to roll left. He's going to be pressured. Throws it back across the middle. And again, there you see the physical presence of the quarterback as that ball was underthrown a bit. Dropped by number 13, Trikel Murray. Wouldn't have been enough for the first down. But again, you see the big physical nature of the kid.
Yeah, exactly. Great size, kind of Cam Newton size. Great pressure being applied that time by Ashley Ridge. Jaheim President, we just talked about him. If that name sounds familiar, his brother Jamil just made the practice squad for Houston, Texas. Of course, he played his high school football at Wando. Then he went to Auburn for 4 years, then transferred to Illinois.
J.J. McAfee back to return the punt. It's going to fall a little short, bound to the 45, to the 44-yard line, and that's where Ashley Ridge will take control.
If you're Kenny Walker right now, we talked about it, a choppy start for both teams. You want to kind of establish a drive, try to get a couple of first down. Obviously, you got outstanding field position right now, so they're going to start it at their own 44-yard line and start to put the pressure on this Carlton County team. We talked about it, both teams very young, but sometimes momentum is a great thing, and you got to think that they could kind of piece these drives together. It should be a good night for the Swamp Foxes.
Start at the 44-yard line. 3 receivers set, going to take it back inside. This is Cunningham to the outside. He's got a lot of speed and good moves, going to cut it back inside for an additional 4 yards. A nice open field tackle by Colleton County's defensive back. That is number 15, Jaden Coger again. Called his name a couple of times already.
Yeah, big run by Nick Cunningham. Great speed, able to bounce it outside. Great vision, put the ball in the outside hand, which is what you want to do in the event you were to fumble it, especially on a wet night like tonight. But a nice strong run and a first down for the Swamp Foxes.
Cunningham, 2 touchdowns already on the year, 176 total yards. Works once, why not try it again? Just to the opposite side. He's got blockers out front. He's going to turn the quarter. Another big hit by Cougars. So we know who the hit man is on the Carlton County defense. The problem right now is just stopping that run.
And the 6'1" senior Coker laying a smackdown at the end of this run, but another solid run for Nick Cunningham. Nice job of bouncing it outside. He does a great job of having field vision, able to see the defender and just stretch it out and pick up another first down for the Swamp Foxes.
Cunningham had 165 yards in those 2 touchdowns against Cane Bay, opening win for Ashley Ridge. And they like to rotate running backs in. We've got a new one in right now. That's DeMar Proctor-Floyd. And you see the moves from the inside to the outside. This is a guy who had an 80-yard touchdown run against Cane Bay. There you see why. Elusive in the middle, stops with some nice moves.
Yeah, great footwork. Just determined to not go down. A stiff arm there, and once again, trying to get to the end zone. He could smell the end zone. First and goal coming up for the Swamp Foxes. These running backs for the Ashley Ridge really do a nice job of bouncing it outside, Dean, and kind of set the defenders up and then try to get to the corner.
Cunningham back in the running back, going to take it up the middle. Not going to get much yardage there.
Yeah,
but I tell you, what a luxury to have a stable of running backs. Proctor, Floyd, Cunningham. Chereau was number 44, has been hampered a little bit by injury. Said he'd hoped to see him, had an ankle injury. But he loves this kid, 5'10", 200, very physical running back. Cunningham back behind Duncan. Receivers to the left and the right. Duncan's going to roll right, throw back left. And a great catch by Troy Chavis, number 19, as the lefty quarterback rolls right and delivers it back out across the field. Berkeley Electric Cooperative's Touchstone Energy touchdown. Duncan to Chavis.
Yeah, that play that worked so well. It faked out the camera guy, and again, that's a tough throw, kind of thrown against his body. The left-hander able to put it right on the spot to Chavis, and Chavis able to bring it in for the first score of the night for the Swamp Foxes.
Again, the luxury to have that running game, to be able to set up that pass play to open up the middle of the field a little bit. 4th touchdown of the year for Duncan. That's 3 in 2 games for Chavis. They've got a good connection.
And we talked about it. That play worked because Colleton County was expecting the toss sweep. They'd had a lot of success, Ashley Ridge did, getting to the outside, and so the defense kind of moved with the initial fake and left Duncan wide open to be able to deliver it to his wide receiver, Chavis. So a good execution by the Swamp Foxes.
Chavis does not get a break. He's the holder on PATs.
This is on the all-hands team. So it's usually a very important position on a football team.
Alec Lazik's going to make it a 7-0 game. How about some Zaxby's and our fans, Cam? It didn't take long when you were out here today to see the Ashley Ridge student body. We got the memo. It is red, white, and blue. USA, USA. Head over to Zaxby's in your red, white, and blue. So Chavis with a touchdown catch from Duncan. It's a 7-0 game with 7:41 left. And again, this is where Kobe Peter, we haven't talked a lot about him, the first-year coach, came down from Greer High School. This is his first coaching job, been in the game for 21 years. Does have a little bit of experience here in the Low Country connection. After he played 4 years at Clemson, I said, "You played 4 years at Clemson?" He said, "Well, I was on the team for 4 years."
There's a big difference.
Played a little bit his last 2 years, and then his first job, coaching job, was with the Stratford Knights and Coach Ray Stackley. Hurricane Harvey turned Texans' lives upside down. Now ABC News 4 and MyTV Charleston will stand strong, pitch in, and help our neighbors get back on their feet. You can donate online, abcnews4.com. Sinclair Cares, standing strong for Texas with the Salvation Army. The cool thing about this, Sinclair Broadcasting is going to match dollar for dollar to up to $100,000 to help people back in the Houston and Beaumont area. Corpus Christi, Rockport, just ravished by that hurricane and the following floods.
Of course, us being here in Charleston, we all remember Hurricane Hugo, and just a very unfortunate situation. Obviously, there's a hurricane brewing out in the Atlantic right now that hopefully will not head towards Charleston. But, yeah, just an awful situation for those folks out in Texas.
Ashley Ridge with the ball kicked out of bounds. They will kick it off again. Right now it's a 7-0 game. We're going to head to break, come back. The Ashley Ridge kickoff. You're watching Friday Night Rivals, driven by Low Country Chevy Dealers. Welcome back to Ashley Ridge, where the Swamp Foxes have jumped on the board first. A touchdown pass from Duncan to Chavis, 7-0 here in the first quarter. Week 2 of Friday Night Rivals, driven by Low Country Chevy Dealers.
We talked about it. That was the drive that Ashley Ridge needed after that first opening drive of 3 and out. Kenny Walker definitely wanted to get some points on the board. Now, if you're Carlton County, how do you respond? You're down 7-0. You've been in this position before over the past 2 weeks. Let's see what the Cougars have in store.
Well, this is what Kobe Peeler wants to see out of his team. He wants to see them respond. This is Tristan Navis with a great block. He's got a seam up the middle, a nice spin. He's going to get to the outside, and he's got some speed. He turns it to the 40, to the 35, to the 30. One man to catch him, and that one man does. That is number 15, Noah West. There you see the speed of Tristan Nieves. Watch him go up the middle and then take it to the outside.
Nice spin move and the great speed shown by Tristan Nieves, a 6'2", 160-pound senior. Dean, I just can't get over the athletes that Carlton County has. I mean, these guys are long, lanky, just guys that now the next step as Cody Peeler tries to build this program is getting these guys to expect to win instead of hoping to win.
All right, first down from the 20-yard line. He's going to go to the air. His wide receiver cut the route. That is number 3, Deja Ferguson, cut off the route. Number 33, Nija Hill, missed the interception at the 5-yard line. Let's right now go down to Erica Scrippa. She's got a special guest. Erica?
All right, thanks, guys. I'm right here with Scott Reiser with Scott Reiser GMC Chevrolet. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
We're doing great. We're happy to have you right now. And tell me why it's so important for Chevrolet to get involved with sports.
Well, it's Friday night into Low Country, and we just do it for the kids and hope the kids really enjoy it and have a great time.
Great energy out here, huh?
Lots of energy.
And tell me a little bit about your store.
Well, we're a small store in Walterboro, and we're the only dealer in Walterboro and the Charleston area that has Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. So we got some great rebates that just came out. So everything's going to be exciting for September.
A lot of variety, a lot of different car options, huh?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here, Scott. Happy to have you here. We'll send things back up to you guys.
All right, Erica, thanks very much. There's Tyrese Pressey on second down, picking up 3 yards on a run up the middle. big stop by number 16, Rhett Butcher, back on the field.
And that's the thing, Dean, when you have athletes like we have on display tonight, you got to get those guys out in space. Get them on the corner so they can make plays. Neither team has had a lot of success running up the middle. Just pitch it out and let those guys go.
David Herron wearing the white hat, leading the officials tonight. 5-yard penalty on Colleton County puts him in a 3rd and long situation from 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 12. Grant in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers to the right. He's going to dump it off to Pressey and watch him work.
5 maroon jerseys there on the stop, led by the DB Nigel Hill. So 1 against 5 normally doesn't work out well for you, but Pressey made the most of that opportunity.
Well, I think you've got a you could have given the tackle to a lot of them, but I think Hill was the first guy there.
And this is a win for Ashley Ridge. You got to think the big kickoff return, and at most it's going to cost them 3 points. Let's see if Colleton County can kick it through. Did it get over? It did.
That was a doink, and then a doink and a drop for number 49, Campbell Pryor, with a field goal to make it a 7-3 game.
It all counts, whether it goes over cleanly or if it hits the crossbar and falls in. It's still 3 points, and that will finally get the Cougars on the board.
Let's crunch some numbers right now, some high school football rankings. I was looking at these this week. Some interesting things jumped out at me. First of all, Dutch Fork 1 and 2 play tonight. The game was pushed back a little bit because apparently Fort Dorchester's bus broke down, and they actually had to join the cheerleaders on the cheerleader bus to make it up to the Columbia area. As for Boiling Springs, this is a team that Ashley Ridge had beat last week, lost in overtime, had a chance to take a lead with a minute left. They lose in overtime to Boiling Springs, so you know what kind of club Ashley Ridge has. And then Somerville is at 10 right now in Class 5A. We've got the lower rankings coming up for you. We'll show those to you as we continue to crunch the numbers here.
Yeah, Somerville with a big game tonight against Berkeley. Missing some players. I believe 8 players suspended from the brawl that you and Darren called in week 1. That big win over Spartanburg. You think about Somerville Berkeley, you think of Gerald Moody, you think about obviously John McKissick and all the greats that played at both of those schools. Even Dean, back in your sports days, the Rusty Williams of the world, the Mal Lawyers, and
Mal still on the sidelines.
Yeah, AJ Green and Kevin Long and just Bennett Swigert, just a lot of great football players that have come from the Low Country.
Nick Cunningham with nifty handwork on that kickoff. Takes it at the 15 and moves it all the way down to the 40-yard line again. We'll take another look at the field goal by Campbell Pryor.
Yeah, it got putted foot into. It looked like it was going to go wide left. Just at the last second, it just kind of hit that upright. Had enough gusto to just kind of get over the crossbar and give the Cougars their first 3 points of the night.
But as you know, as you said, it looks like a 3 in the newspaper tomorrow, doesn't it?
Exactly.
It didn't say hit the left upright.
Exactly.
It just said 3.
We don't care how it gets in as long as it gets in.
By the way, Crunch the Numbers brought to you by Heritage Trust Federal Credit Union tonight. So Matt Duncan with 1 TV on the night. Really been counting on that ground game. This one's going to scoot it back out. 3 wide receiver set. Going to throw it to his inside receiver.
Did he fumble it, Dean? No, they're going to say he's down. Catch made by DeMar Floyd. That's just pitch and catch. Got the snap. Just a quick throw and able to pick up about 9 yards on that play.
I didn't know if he had full possession of the ball. 5'9", 170. He's got 14 catches for 118 yards already this year. But there you see really the progression of Matt Duncan. First of all, he's 2 inches taller. So there he's able to throw a little bit easier over the line of scrimmage. Back in the shotgun again. There you see the read option, pulls it back out. Strikes it right on the money to J.J. McAfee. We saw McAfee on the field prior to the game. What did you call him? Big number 1?
Big number. Looks good on getting off the bus, but the question is, can he catch? And on that one, that was a nicely thrown football by the quarterback, Matt Duncan. However, Mr. McAfee not able to pull it in. Let's see if the Swamp Foxes will go back to him and give J.J. McAfee another opportunity.
Third and short. Had success with the run game. Let's see if they try to do that here. And pitch to the outside. Cunningham misses, makes a first guy miss. Looks like it's going to be a favorable spot. We call it left foot, right foot in my house. And the referee at the top of the screen is going to spot it. Looked like it was going to be a right foot spot, but it's a left foot, which is going to force the crew to bring the chains out.
Cunningham that time, if he gets this first down, it was all him. Didn't really have any blockers out there and able to make the first guy miss and get close or maybe pick up a first down.
Well, a really nice job on the outside there. I believe it was by John Hennigan to kind of force that play back to the inside. The measurement in favor of Ashley Ridge.
Of course, Dean, so many ways to watch Friday Night Rivals.
We have a few, don't we?
Watching it right here on My TV Charleston. For those who are tech savvy, like probably your boys and heck, my daughter, probably watching it on Facebook or Twitter or the ABC News 4 website.
There you go, Cunningham to the outside after a little nifty play inside, a little misdirection. The snap going over the head of number 19, Troy Chavis, back into the hands of Duncan, and then Cunningham picks up about 5 yards on the play.
He's really been the workhorse here through the first 8 minutes of this first quarter. Really doing a nice job. This time he was able to find some room between the tackles. When you think about Ashley Ridge and running backs, you probably think about Romello Doctor, young man that played here not too long ago, had some success, I believe, at Newberry College. Of course, Newberry playing the Citadel tomorrow here in Charleston. See a busted play here.
Hennigan forcing him out of the pocket. Jamison Butler forcing him to throw it out of bounds. And this is funny, this is ironic that this call is going to be made. It is going to be a grounding call. Apparently at some point in time in either the first game that Darren and I did or the second game that Darren and I did, we were talking about a grounding call, and they shouldn't have called it because he was outside of the pocket. So before the game, the lead referee, David Herron, came and found me.
Right.
And he said, by the way, I want to clear something up for you and Darren. I said, Darren said it, and he's not here. But he explained the rules that in high school, grounding is from sideline to sideline. It's just not in the pocket, out of the pocket. So that is exactly why that was called right there. Duncan forced out of the pocket, had nobody. I mean, if he'd have just gone and slid, we'd have been taking a look at third down right now.
And that was great pressure by John Hennigan, the senior defensive lineman for Colleton County. And I was about to actually sing Mr. Duncan's praises for making the smart play, not trying to force it and just getting rid of it.
We got third and a long, long, long way. And he's just going to go back. Little screen play across the middle. Read very well by that defense of Carlton County. You got about 4 or 5 of them in there, led by Jamison Butler and number 55. That is Greg Wilson, defensive lineman.
Also Jaquan Thompson and Jalen Lawton on the stop. You're right, Dean. They read that screen perfectly. Great execution by the Carlton County defense. And now it seems like both teams starting to really settle in and kind of get in the groove defensively for Carlton County. Let's see, because they should get outstanding field position after this punt.
Punt's going to be a little bit short, just making it to the line of scrimmage. Bounces out of bounds at the 46-yard line, and that's where Colleton County will set up offense, led by their quarterback, Craig Grant.
Of course, in the last possession, Colleton County had outstanding field position as they started inside the Swamp Fox, I think it's 25-yard line. Now they're going to start at their own 46-yard line. I think it's very important for this Cougar offense to capitalize on this outstanding field position.
7-3 game. When you take this into account, last week, Craig Grant against arguably one of the top 2 teams in the state in Fort Dorchester threw for 250 yards. Ferguson had 125 of them, and Jovan Williams had 94. Also played on a Saturday because of all the rain that we had a week ago. They decided to move until Saturday, losing out on a day of preparation, getting ready for this game.
Right now, I think the discussion is the play clock, Dean, on the right side of the field is out. So I guess they're going to have to turn both clocks off.
Keep it down on the field.
Right. But yeah, you talked about it, Dean, able to throw for 250 yards against a very good Fort Dorchester defense. They have some D1 prospects on that team. You know, D'Angelo Knight, the linebacker, is already signed or committed to go to Georgia State. So anytime you can have that much success against Steve LaPratt and that Fort Dorchester defense, you know you're a pretty special player.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 47. Man in motion. Grant's going to step drop. He's got pressure from the backside. And that's going to be a sack. We're going to get a little sack dance by Blaine Dubois. Senior, 6'1", 195.
Yeah, Blaine shot off the corner. For him to be able to bring down the big target, Craig Grant, that's saying something. But yeah, you see a missed block there by the left tackle. Peter Nixon allowed Blaine Dubois to get in and bring down Craig Grant. Great pressure applied by Ashley Ridge.
Listen, Kobe Peeler, first-year coach, still kind of taking it all in, understanding his personnel. The handoff goes inside and goes nowhere. Big takedown by number 5 for Ashley Ridge on their defense. That is Will Aiken, should I say, the senior linebacker. The amazing thing about this Colleton County offensive line, number 77, Kobe Ferguson, is just a freshman.
Right.
6'2", 260 pounds.
And Coach Peeler, he knows, you know, to build a program the right way, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to be patient and try to eliminate as many negative plays, you know, as possible. As we see a penalty flag here. And right now, Carlton County is really killing themselves with the mental mistakes.
You got a illegal procedure, going to back him up another 5, coming off of a short run and a sack. But Coach Peeler was telling me about this offensive line, about Kobe starting as a freshman. He said he's got 3 more offensive linemen on JV that are bigger than their varsity starters. He's got 4 ninth graders, 6'2", 260.
But when you look at building a program, you know it's going to take 2 or 3 years. So you kind of get those guys, let them grow up together, learn how to win, and when they get to the varsity level, they'll be a big contributor.
Boy, what a nice run there by Craig Grant. He's going to come up just a couple of yards short on a quarterback keeper up the middle.
I guess Carlton County, they don't want to, nothing fancy here, just a quarterback draw up the middle. You don't want to necessarily lose field position, but it looks like they're going to stay on the field, Dean, and they're going to go for it.
And I think it's a smart play. The defense has played very well against this Ashley Ridge offense right here at this part of the field, in fact.
At this point, I keep it in the hands of my quarterback, Craig Grant, and maybe give him a run-pass option out on the outside and see what he can do.
50 seconds left in the quarter. Got Pressey to his right, drops back, looks, and miscommunication between he and his wide receiver. That's number 3, DeJay Ferguson. Ferguson cut to the outside, and Grant threw it to the outside. Ferguson went to the inside. So a turnover on downs. Ashley Ridge has held him. Remains a 7-3 game.
And that's the second time that the quarterback and the wide receiver, they've not been on the same page. So obviously a very crucial play on that 4th down and 3. I still would have liked to have seen, you know, obviously given the quarterback Craig Grant a chance to see, but Coach Peeler went with the other play. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them this time. Now the Cougar defense back on the field.
And it's going to be Cunningham back inside and then to the outside, and then he turns the corner. Shoulders are square, makes it all the way down to the 25-yard line. A pickup of 30 yards on the play for that running back, Cunningham.
I don't have a stat monitor, but I'd have to think Cunningham's got to be close to 100 yards here in the first quarter. Another explosive run over the right side. He's had a lot of success running behind that right tackle of his, and another first down, a big run by Mr. Cunningham.
Our stat boy to our left, he didn't know he was going to be stat boy when he came to the game today. He's going to tell us how many yards Cunningham has right now. Incomplete pass from Duncan to Cunningham on the flat.
And that's another attempt to kind of get Cunningham out in the open, get him in space, let him make a play. You can tell he has the elusive moves to make guys miss. So just the swing pass, unfortunately, couldn't connect, so it'll be second down.
66 yards on the day for Nick Cunningham, the Ashley Ridge running back.
That's close to 100, 66.
He's about 34 away. 5'10", 170, just a junior. Duncan's going to roll out. Looks like he's going to carry it the whole way. Chavis with a block to the outside, allowing him to make it down to the 24-yard line and a first down.
And that's why it's so important for wide receivers to know how to block, down the field when you have your your quarterback right on your tail. You got to be able to keep that DB in front of you. So a good run by Mr. Duncan.
How many times do you see that? A wide receiver that doesn't hold his block and he gives up the tackle, or a wide receiver that does keep his block and allows the quarterback or the running back to pick up an additional 10 or 20 yards.
And results in a big play. And those quarterbacks, they don't necessarily like being hit, Dean. So if they can kind of get down the field and then step out of bounds, that's more to their liking.
What are you saying about quarterbacks, E?
They just aren't, they like to just throw it, not necessarily be
three in the backfield
hit.
On the 3rd and short. Colleton County defense with a great stop on 3rd and short from the 26-yard line. They lined up 2 offensive linemen in the backfield. That was number 55, Jack Bruffy, and I believe Anthony Jackson was in there as well.
Greg Wilson there. Let's put it this way, Dean. I saw 4 white jerseys not near the football. So there's 7 guys that should be credited with the tackle. That was an outstanding, great penetration by Colleton County.
All right, it has come to the end of the first quarter, a 7-3 game. Ashley Ridge on top behind a Matt Duncan touchdown pass. You're watching Friday Night Rivals, driven by Low Country Chevy dealers. We're back after this. Welcome back to Ashley Ridge. The swamp has dried out from a torrential downpour right around 5:30 today for a fairly clean first quarter of football, led by Matt Duncan's touchdown pass to Troy Chavis. It's a 7-3 game. Ashley Ridge looking at a 4th and short right now on the 27-yard line.
Got to give it to Cunningham, and that's what they do. Can he get it, Dean? Second effort looks like it's going to be awfully close.
I think his knee was down early. I think his knee hit, but Carlton County defense, a lot of credit on these last 2 plays. On 3rd and short, they stuffed him, and they've stopped him here on 4th down. Let's right now send it back downstairs to our reporter, field reporter, Erica Scrippa.
All right, I'm here right now with Karen Radcliffe, principal right here at Ashley Ridge. Thanks for being here, Karen.
No, thanks for having us. This is fabulous. We love it.
This is great. And tell me a little bit about what it means to your students to be a part of this broadcast.
Our kids love to be front and center. So as you can tell down there, the student section loves it when y'all pan over to them. They love it.
A lot of great energy out here.
Absolutely.
And tell me else, what kind of big programs, what new things do you have going on at the school this year?
You know, there's so many, but I will give a shout out to our horticulture department. Boiled peanuts, everybody's got to get them.
Everybody loves those, huh?
Absolutely.
And Karen, we just want to thank you again for being a part of Friday Night Rivals, and we just want to present you here with this check. Thank you.
Tackled by number 77, Anthony Jackson for the Foxes.
All right, guys, back to you.
Gain of about a yard.
All right, Erica, thanks so much.
It looks like they misspelled the check. It's supposed to be the EVE or ETT.
Short gain by Preston. You're going to go back to the well. Ashley Ridge right up the middle. That defense led by Jack Bruffy, Anthony Jackson, 275 by Jackson. And again, a very young offensive line by Colleton County. $500 for the host school grant. But you got a 9th grader, a 10th grader, 2 juniors, and a senior on that offensive line. 3rd and 9. Grant back, looking to throw it. Going to roll to his right. He's got 3 receivers that side. Steps in, puts it right on the money. And what a nice grab upstairs by number 6. That's Jeremiah Mosley, just a sophomore, going up and catching that ball at its highest point.
And that's a play that obviously Mr. Grant can execute with ease. Simply roll right. That's a strong arm, and it did a nice job of throwing on the run and able to complete the pass to his wide receiver, Mr. Mosley.
That's their first down of the game. Tristan Nieves on the outside.
And we talked about this Carlton County offense. You've mentioned it numerous times about the youth of the offensive line. Which in those situations, Dean, basically we can just kind of give Craig Grant just a little bit of time. He can make something happen. He's got the playmakers on the outside, but it's in the trenches where Kobe Peeler needs these guys to really step up and give this offensive unit an opportunity.
Short gain on that pass play by Grant. Blitz up the middle. Pressey trying to get to the outside. What a nice tackle. A form tackle, if you will. Is that number 22 inside, Rodney Oldham?
That's what it looks like. They timed that one perfectly with the blitz coming up the middle. Yeah, we want to get these kids on the outside.
Subway's proud to offer you a free mobile coupon. Text subs to 44332. You'll receive an instant mobile coupon that will get you any 2 6-inch fresh value meals for just $12. Just text subs to 44332 for this delicious offer from Subway. And another delicious offering by Craig Grant down the middle. It's number 3, DeJay Ferguson. And now you see kind of the pinpoint accuracy that Grant has.
Well, the difference is now he has time. It's amazing once they give Craig Grant an opportunity to kind of get his feet set, planted. He is very comfortable back there. So if you're Ashley Ridge, you can't let him get so comfortable. But when you give him an opportunity, he's delivered every time.
Again, throwing a little short out pass to number 3, DeJay Ferguson. Kenny Walker has called a timeout. And I don't know if we can get a camera on Kenny Walker, but we're going to have a little come to meet Jesus on the sidelines with preacher man Kenny. Didn't like something about that defense. Maybe saying playing a little too soft. You know, it was interesting talking to him this week. He has been in charge of this program ever since its inception when they started here some 9 years ago. Surprised to find out that they have just 3 winning seasons during that time. This guy runs a quality program, but he really does talk this summer about focusing on team chemistry, on rebuilding culture. That the biggest goal for this season, it's not to win a state championship, it's not to win a region championship, it is to play for each other. He says it's a youth thing, it's not understanding that team concept, because he feels like once he gets to that point, then everything else will take care of itself and they'll be in the conversation.
And that's the way it is. You know, you do the little things and the big things will take care of themselves. You know, something as simple as running off the field, running on the field, playing with a sense of urgency, like you say, playing for your teammate, the guy next to you. You kind of do those things, then it kind of, you know, you take pride in putting on that Ashley Ridge jersey and playing for your school. So you're right. You could fix that first. That's the first thing. And once you get that in line and get the kids playing together, then bigger things will be in store for Ashley Ridge.
Grant looking back, holds the linebacker. He's got a wide open man, but overthrows him by a step and a half. That's Javon Williams. And you come out of a timeout when you're unhappy with your defense and you let that wide receiver become that wide open.
And I was just about to say, you know, for Carlton County, they probably needed to throw the ball down the field to kind of loosen up that defense because they were starting to creep up. Just a little bit too much air under that one. And I'm sure if Grant had that play back again, he may have thrown it maybe a fastball instead of kind of lobbing it in.
I'd say he'd maybe take another second or two and let him just really set up and throw the ball. There's a soft toss underneath. Nice move by Nieves. And look at the speed and the move, and he's going to take it to the outside, and he's going to take it to the house. And a Carlton County lead.
I'm so impressed with the touch of Grant. We talked about him having arguably the strongest arm in the low country, but it's his finesse that he puts on this pass. A nice touch pass, and what a move here, stop and go, able to elude two defenders, and then he just outran the entire Ashley Ridge defense.
Well, you said it really when you arrived here. We were talking about this game. Just the number of athletes, Colleton County, and we talk about the county. Let's talk about the county that the county has had through the years. From Walterboro High School to the transition to Colleton County. The PAT is good in a 3-point lead with 9 minutes left, 10-7. Athletes, Tristan Nieves.
Yeah.
That was an athletic move.
Well, I mean, you think about it, even probably the top wide receiver at Fort Dorchester right now, Justin Williams. He played at Colleton County 2 years ago. So that's never been the issue at Colleton County having athletes. It's just getting them on the football field. They probably all just played basketball, didn't necessarily want to play football, but give credit to Kobe Peeler. He's done a great job getting the kids out.
By the way, that was a Berkeley Electric Cooperative Touchstone Energy touchdown. As we go to break, you're watching Friday Night Rivals, driven by Low Country Chevy Dealers. All right, welcome back to Ashley Ridge. Welcome back to Fans Cam, brought to you by Zaxby's. We got a shop in the house. We got umbrellas popping up if the rain starts to fall a little bit. But it's really been a very nice night for football.
It really has. You talked about how the temperature has somewhat dropped with the rain. Of course, Dean, we're up in the booth, so we don't necessarily have to deal with it. But yeah, there's been some nights, but it's been very uncomfortable. Tonight is not one of them here at Ashley Ridge.
Short kickoff taken by Cunningham. He's got the ability to blow it outside, and he does. He picks up a nice block by number 14, Josh Litton, one of his wide receivers. We have seen a lot of Nick Cunningham tonight. We've seen a lot of Tristan Nieves tonight.
I tell you, but I just saw a lot of Jalen Levine, the freshman defensive back, laying the boom at the end of that big kickoff return. But again, Mr. Cunningham, Nick Cunningham, doing everything for Ashley Ridge tonight. But at the end of this play, you'll see a big finish
right
there, a good stop.
You like that?
By Carlton County. I'm all about the big hits.
You like the big hits. Ashley Ridge setting up in Cougar territory at the 37-yard line. Handoff to the outside. Flags coming in on both directions there as Carlton County steps up. Lamar Proctor-Floyd looked like he had a seam to the outside. Have to assume holding will be called. Two flags coming at about just the same time.
we've seen a lot of big plays on special teams, but neither team able to really capitalize, on those big plays. So Ashley Ridge, this is the second big return of the night for them, starting deep in Carlton County territory, but first play of the drive will be negated by a holding penalty, which will back them up 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Let's go back to what we talked about early in this game, a holding call on Ashley Ridge, and talking about what Kobe Peeler wanted to see from his team, the ability to bounce back, the ability to show resiliency, and not to feel like, uh-oh, here comes the landslide.
Yeah, one of those situations where you have to work through adversity and understand it's not always going to be easy. So when you do those, or in these types of situations, especially with a young team, it's all about how you handle adversity. And this has been a good start so far for Carlton County. Fell behind early, didn't hang their hats, got right back, and now they have the lead.
Scored the last 10 points. McAfee in motion to the right. Duncan's going to throw it to him. Watch the physical play here. He picks up about 15 with the penalty cost him. McAfee 6'4", 210, and I believe Kenny Walker said he runs about a 4'5". Says he's an under-the-radar kid. Didn't have a huge junior year. He's got all the tools. He believes that the offers are certainly going to come. Looking at him on the field, I'd give him an offer. By the way, Sinclair Cares, Hurricane Harvey, you've seen what it's done to Texas. Go to abcnews4.com. You can donate. Sinclair will match all the way up to $100,000.
A nice job by Troy Chavis finding the soft spot in that zone. Again, Ashley Ridge just playing pitch and catch. Nice delivery from the quarterback, Duncan. He's done a nice job of kind of spreading the ball around tonight to his wide receivers. Nothing fancy there. Three-step drop and deliver it to his target.
I put Kenny in a bad spot, and I hated asking him the question because I'm sure the family gets it. People talking about the two brothers compare them, but he likes where Matt Duncan is right now in his process. Hands it to the outside. Look at the play. Look at the play by number 21 stepping into the hole. Jalen Lowren with a nice play, splitting the gap, coming up with a big loss.
Yeah, as good as Cunningham is, he needs a little bit of help in terms of blocking, and Jalen Lawton right there on the spot did a nice job of shooting the gaps and able to bring down Cunningham, who's been very elusive tonight but could not escape on that particular play.
Forcing Ashley Ridge to punt. Richard Bear. He's had 4 punts on the year this year. Just trying to pooch it down to get a nice roll on a wet turf. He does, but oh my goodness, the heads-up play. The heads-up play by number 15, Jaden Coger. This kid does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he really does.
But that ball was about to be down at about the 5-yard line.
6'1" senior.
I can't.
It looked like he kind of got shot out of a can, and he picked it up and took off so fast.
Well, the Ashley Ridge cover man didn't seem all that interested in the ball. Jaden Coger certainly was very interested in the ball.
Seems like the punt team kind of broke down a little too early. You kind of have to crowd the football and crowd the returner, and just gave him a little too much space on that particular play.
So they'll take over the 25-yard line with an opportunity to extend this lead from 3 to 6 or 3 to 10. Last drive, they started to throw the ball down a little bit more downfield, not just towards the ends. Grant's got a seam on the outside, cuts it back to the inside, picks up 10 on the carry.
And that's where he's dangerous. When things break down, he can use his athleticism to kind of escape from the trouble. So nice job by Grant, not forcing the issue, just taking what the defense gives you and able to pick up a first down.
You know who he reminds me of? The way he runs?
Cam Newton.
No.
Deshaun Watson.
No.
Vince, please don't say Vince Young.
VY10, baby, press it to the inside. Flag comes in, going to be a holding call.
I keep forgetting it. But when I work with you, all references are Texas. When I work with Darren Goldwater, all references will be Penn State.
Yeah. I don't know. He just, he kind of stands up, not terribly fast, but just picked up 10 yards in the blink of an eye.
And that's last play will come back, another holding penalty. And these are the things that can kind of kill a young team when you're really trying to get into a rhythm, you're getting in a groove, and then you have a senseless penalty with the holding. So looks like they're back to where they originally started this drive.
Let's crunch some more numbers brought to you by Heritage Trust Federal Credit Union. Just no team in the Low Country. I found this very interesting. No 4A team in the Low Country ranked Berkeley, the Stags, only receiving votes as we continue to look at the top 10 across the state.
To tell you the truth, Dean, with all the reclassification, and I don't know who's in what classifications anymore between 5A, 4A, 3A. This one's appealing, that one's appealing. It's kind of hard to keep up with who's playing where these days.
Looks like Ashley Ridge is substituting a couple of guys in. Quarterback keeper by Grant goes maybe for a yard, if that.
You have 2nd down and 18 here. You don't necessarily have to get it all back in one place. So maybe try to pick up, 8 to 10 yards here and give yourself a more manageable 3rd down after this play.
It really looked like that's what Grant was trying to do, and the play broke down, forced him to run. Let's see if he goes back to Nieves. Nope, he's going to keep it himself. He's got Pressey out in front of him. Pressey with a nice block picks up about 12 on the play. Set up a 3rd and 8 right now. That's about as safe as you're going to get, right?
Exactly. No risk. You protect the football. Despite all the rain earlier, we hadn't really seen any fumbles. We've had a couple of bad snaps, but nothing out of the ordinary. So now you have a manageable 3rd down and 9. And I got to think, if I'm him, I'm going to look for number 2 and see if I can get the football in his hands.
You got 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Single setback is Pressey. Grant looks over the 4-3 scheme or the 4-2 scheme. They bring in 45 defensive backs. Grant steps back, looks right, looks left, comes back the other way. Oh my goodness, what a nice throw. Even better catch by number 3. That's DJ Ferguson. It's one of his main guys he likes to see. But watch him look, the safety's off to the left, and he knows exactly where Ferguson is and drops it in there for the 1st down.
And President was putting some pressure on him, but once again, when you let him get comfortable, he can deliver the ball on the spot.
Well, for a team that didn't pick up a 1st down majority way through the, in fact, didn't have a 1st down through the entire 1st quarter, they have put together 2 very nice drives right now.
And this is what you need when you're trying to build a program. It's little things. Every game, be better than you were the game before. We talked about this Carlton County team. They lost their opening game to West Ashley 34-14. Then last week lost to Fort Dorchester 55-21. No shame there. Fort Dorchester is going to put up 55 on a lot of
everybody.
Teams. Yeah, when you have the top quarterback in the state, one of the top in the country in terms of the Carry-On Joiner, that's just going to happen. But the fact that they could put up 21 points, they played to the end, those small wins eventually will, in the future, provide big dividends for the Cougars.
Coach Peeler spent most of his time in the upstate. He did spend 2 years at Stratford. Then he was at Gaffney. He was at Greer. He was at Woodruff. And if you know anything about those programs win, and they win a lot. And something that he said to me the other day that really hit home, he said, when I was at those programs, he said they won that game before they ever got onto the field because they didn't think there was any way in the world they were going to lose. And that's the mindset he really wants to instill in this Colleton County program.
Yeah, it's a one thing to expect to win, and there's another thing for people who hope to win. So when you have that confidence and you believe that you belong, that you are the best team, and you have that mental edge and that mental approach, good things are going to happen because you have to have that confidence. So right now, they're in that stages of hoping to win, hope they can hang around, but eventually if they continue to do what they're supposed to do and do it slowly but do it right, they'll get to the point where they'll expect to win each and every night.
1st and 10 from the 47. Grant's going to look downfield. He's going to throw it up into double coverage. What a nice play, saving the touchdown. It's number 20. The man with the greatest name on the field today, by the way.
I see that.
He's got the, because you know why right there? He was the man. He was the hombre. He is hombre Kennedy. Kennedy comes in with a nice tip away right here, saving possible touchdown.
Well, you got to think a little more air under that one. If Grant could get it a little further down the field, that probably would have been a touchdown because he definitely had his wide receiver behind the secondary. But you're right, Kennedy with the touchdown saving breakup.
Ashley Ridge with a player down on a second consecutive play. This one back by the Carlton County sideline, about the 36-yard line. Can't get a number on him. Looking at his right leg pointing down there.
As you know, Dean, a couple of years ago, I did sidelines with you and Darren, and I believe Ashley Ridge was the first place I discovered.
What's that?
That if you drink pickle juice.
Oh yeah.
That helps avoid getting cramps.
Was that a hot night for you down there?
It was. I don't know. I think we were here and maybe playing Carlton County, or maybe we were at Carlton County playing Ashley Ridge. But yeah, that's the night I figured that you could just drink pickle juice and all would be fixed.
I believe that is Jack Bruffy, looking like a right leg injury, limping off. Kenny Walker out there with the medical staff.
But always good to see them walk off on their own.
These are some of the things that you learn by being part of Friday Night Rivals, driven by Low Country Chevy dealers. The things that you learn, by the way, not Jack Bruffy, that instead number 59. That is Peyton Purvis, senior defensive lineman, 5'10", 245. Pickle juice will help. 2nd and 10 from the 47. Grant now with 3 wide receivers, 1 setback. And that's who's going to get the ball. Pressey up the middle, big physical runner.
Fumble.
I think he was down on the ground trying to extend to pick up some extra yardage. And now I think
the referee was right on top of it, no doubt at all.
Jamari Johnson came up a little slow, limping off the field. Johnson, one of the running backs. Also number 29, we've not seen Nick Wilkie play tonight. 4 yards on the gain by Pressey up the middle.
Big 3rd down here for Carlton County to try to extend this drive and maybe even run this clock out here in the 2nd quarter.
4:10 on the clock. Pressey trying to get the outside, buries his head down, going to be stopped by 5, 6, 7 maroon jerseys to set up a 4th and long right there. You look at Grant looking over to the sidelines, not happy, I don't think, with that play call. I think he wants to go for it. And again, as Colleton County is defensive played, I wouldn't be surprised if they do, and they are.
Will Aiken and Dante Jones on the stop for Ashley Ridge, and they'll have to do it again because Carlton County going for it on 4th down.
2nd time they've gone for it on 4th down. They did it on their last drive and were successful. Maybe just trying to get Ashley Ridge to jump.
It's tough to say. You're at the 50. You can pin them deep with a punt and hold it and give it back to the offense. But with 3:23 left to play, first half, it's like Carlton County will elect to take a timeout.
I talked with a longtime Colleton County supporter, former Walterboro player, just talking about the transition from the last regime to Kobe Peeler and his coaching staff right here. And he had a lot of positive things to say, and he really does believe that this go round they're on the right track. And when you live in a town, most small football towns around here, right? You got to win. But I think more than anything else, what Coach Peeler has shown and what we've seen so far is we've seen a team that's going to fight you.
You know, and Coach Peeler, like you mentioned, he's come from winning programs, so he knows what it takes to win. The community is starting to embrace. You know, you have to earn their trust, and but that community, a very proud community, Walterboro is, and Colleton County, and they want what's best for these kids. So, as we all know, with anything, Dean, winning brings more and more support, and that's what Coach Peeler hopes to do at Colleton County.
Lance Calcutt with a nice punt to the right side, looking like it's going to go out of bounds, and it does. My goodness.
At the 1 yard line.
I think there was a blinker on that ball. 49-yard punt by Calcutt, pinning Ashley Ridge deep with 3:14 in the 2nd quarter. Watch it again. His long of the year was 47. This is a new one. McAfee for a minute thinks maybe I should pick it up. That ball's got a mind of its own.
Great placement. Couldn't ask for a better situation. And right now, Carlton County, they've got to be, Ashley Ridge, they've got to be careful here. They're backed up of some heels in the end zone. Can't allow penetration here by the Cougars.
Well, this is one of those drives that's going to start at the 1 yard line. 3:14 on the clock. You give it to the second back through. And that's a new running back we've not seen so far. That's Avon Dennis, 6'2", 195. Plays linebacker. I'm not sure why they're bringing him out. He seems to
just the big backfield.
I understand what it is, but you know what? It worked really well for +8.
I was about to say he looked really good on that particular run, and also the quarterback was under center, so no shotgun on that particular play. Wanted to play it safe, and they have a little breathing room.
3 receivers set. Chereau in motion, going to give it inside. Boy, a clamp down by number 55. Really nice play in the inside by the linebacker there. That's Greg Wilson, who stepped in and had some really nice plays on the inside for Coach Peeler.
I think we've called Greg Wilson's name maybe once, twice, or 10 times tonight. He's been all over the field leading the charge for this Carlton County defensive unit, and a very big 3rd down and about 2 coming up here, Dean. Got to figure if Carlton County can stop them, they'll probably call a timeout and try to save some time.
Clock under 2 minutes to play. Clock on the field not working, being taken by the officials. Cunningham to the outside, strips 1 tackle, going to take a 1st down. This one Kobe Peeler talks about. We've got to tackle the ball. This is a great example. You've got to runner stop on a 3rd down.
You have to come up with that play because you figure you stop him there, you call a timeout, you should get the ball, in Ashley Ridge territory, but instead you can't come up with the big defensive tackle, so it'll result in a 1st down for Ashley Ridge, and they'll continue their drive.
2 timeouts for Ashley Ridge as Duncan rolls right, looks back left, escapability unmatched. Watch out behind you, young man. And finally captured by number 7 as Legree, Bodison, Cooper.
So Jaquan Thompson on the stop, and you'll see here, kind of loose with the football, kind of just waving it out there. That's a pretty dangerous play. Because all it takes is one defender to kind of swipe at the football, and it would have potentially been a turnover for the Swamp Foxes.
Jalen Lawton was the first one to get a hold of him. And then Bodison Cooper finishes him off. So Ashley Ridge uses one of their final 2 timeouts. Let's see what they want to do here on 2nd down and 10 from the 19-yard line. I think with the weapons that they have on the outside, they've got to maybe throw this ball down the field.
Yeah, but only 135. You probably want to be careful with the particular this particular possession. You're deep in your own territory. Carlton County, you don't want to continue to stop the clock and maybe allow them. We talked about the arm strength of Craig Grant, so you don't want to give him an opportunity to heave one into the end zone right before the clock expires.
You see the wind blowing across the field right now. No real big advantage. Going from sideline to sideline, not from end zone to end zone. There's 4 wide receivers set. Number 19, Chavis in motion. Duncan looks left. He's going to heave it left. And he's got a wide open man. And what a nice play by number 19 on 19. But coming up with the play is Devin Kinsey, Colleton County 19. You talked earlier about Grant putting the air under the ball. Duncan right there lets that one go. A little bit too much air, allowing Kennedy to come up with the play.
Yeah, that almost an interception.
Kinsey.
Actually, I think it was an interception, but he was out of bounds. So Ashley Ridge will catch a break there, but also a break for Carlton County because the clock will now stop with 1:28 left to play in the first half, and 3rd down and 10 facing Ashley Ridge. But yeah, that's a situation. He was open momentarily, but because he put too much air under that one, that allowed the defense an opportunity to recover.
3 receivers on the top of your screen. That's where Duncan's going to go. He finds a man underneath. That's McAfee. Ball's on the ground. Ball scooped back up by McAfee after a gain of about 15 yards and a 1st down. Clock stops as they move the chains.
And there you saw the arm strength of Mr. Duncan, able to fire the ball in there to his wide receiver, J.J. McAfee. Put it on the ground momentarily, but fortunately for him, able to recover his own fumble at the end of the run.
Clock back running at the 34-yard line. Duncan back, steps up into the pocket, looks over the middle. He's got McAfee again, almost the same route. McAfee with a dip of the shoulder, not once but twice, taking it all the way down to Colleton County's 38-yard line.
I stand corrected, Dean. I thought Ashley Ridge would maybe just kind of play it safe, but they're trying to score here before the half. Another connection from Mr. Duncan to Mr. McAfee. That combination has worked well on this drive, so why not continue doing it until they stop it.
1st and 10 from the 38 of Colleton County. 3 receivers again. You got Cunningham setting up to block just a little bit to the outside as Duncan throws on the run a little bit. Not sure if that was the way he wanted that ball to be set, but he has an opportunity to set his feet. He's got 2 wide open receivers on the outside there.
Hey, and he's obviously rolling to the left. He's a left-hander, so an easy throw for himself. But you're right, Dean. I think he just kind of rushed that particular pass. Take your time, set your feet, and deliver the ball to his wide receiver, DeMar Proctor Floyd.
If I'm Kobe Peeler right now, I've got kids with their hands on their heads, on their hips. I'm calling a timeout, letting them kind of regroup, catch their breath. Ashley Ridge moving this ball now from the 1-yard line.
Can the Cougars hold on over the next 54 seconds?
So the pump fake to the right side to Chavis, and then Chavis takes off and runs, and number 31 with an opportunity, Antonius Allen.
Works as a running back and a defensive back, which you see a lot these days, Dean. Kids playing both ways, especially your skill players. Just that athleticism allows them to play both sides of the football.
3rd and 10 from the 39. McAfee, the very top of your screen on a 3 wide receiver set. He's got him across the middle. He sits down. And a really nice play by number 15 by Colleton County. That's Jaden Coger again.
It's 4th down, so you can't spike the football. You got to get to the line of scrimmage, and the clock's running. You got to run a play here.
He's got one timeout left, and he's going to take it. You know, just watching Duncan and McAfee work. McAfee went and found himself a soft spot in the zone. Duncan just dropped a dime on him.
Taking a look at scores around the county, and Fort Dorchester in control at the half, 27-7 up in Columbia, the battle of the 2 top teams in the state. Also Wando leading at the half, 11-0 over Hanahan. A good one there in Moncks Corner. Berkeley leads the Green Wave 13-10 at the half. And right now, Sumter all over Goose Creek, 28-0. So somewhat of a shocker last year. Is Dutch Fort the only team to beat Fort Dorchester last season? They beat them twice at Fort Dorchester and then also in the playoffs. And the Patriots looking to get a little redemption from last year's 2 losses.
Also want to thank David Ayler for being part of our team this year. The David Ayler Law Office Educator Spotlight, allowing opportunity for these principals to really showcase what their schools are doing out in the community. And I really appreciate David, again, being part of our team this year.
David, a great guy, good friend of mine. Fortunately, I've not had to use his services. Don't foresee that in the future as well, but I can just maintain my friendship with David. Hopefully he'll never have to represent me.
4th and 3, Duncan back, fakes the pump, goes back across the middle, broken up. No, caught. Caught by McAfee on the left side, and I'm not quite sure how that went through 3 Carlton County players.
But again, no timeout, so as soon as they set the sticks, they're going to wind the clock. 22.7 seconds left.
3 receivers to the right, McAfee by himself. He's going to roll out to his right, throw back to his left. He's going to pump fake, and he's going to throw it out of bounds.
A smart play by Matt Duncan. We talk about the maturity of the sophomore quarterback. Nothing there. Didn't want to take the chance of throwing it into traffic, so wisely just threw the football out of bounds.
13 seconds left on the clock. Again, sets up. This is the play earlier to McAfee where McAfee found that soft zone. You know the most entertaining part of tonight, other than being with you, right, because we have long history?
Yes.
Is being just on the other side of a paper-thin wall of the Ashley Ridge assistant coaches.
Let's just say they were not happy with that last.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying they're very energetic, just to our left.
Animated.
3 receivers to the right, including McAfee. He's the big target. He's 6'4". Let's see if he goes to him. Nope, he's going to go swing pass underneath to Cunningham. You get one-on-one. Cunningham goes out of bounds at the 15-yard line with 6 seconds left. I was unaware that Nick Cunningham had such great hearing.
Smart play by him, because had he been tackled in bounds, the clock probably would have ran out.
Because the defensive coordinators are screaming over there, the offensive coordinators, get out of bounds, get out of bounds. So it's going to set up about a 26-yard field goal by Ashley Ridge with an opportunity to tie this game. This is Alex Lazik from 22. And now we're going to ice the kicker. Carlton County using their final timeout with 6.8 seconds left. But I'll tell you what, an impressive drive by Ashley Ridge. This thing started at the 1-yard line with 3:14 on the clock. So they used just about 3 minutes and 8 seconds to move their way down the clock.
And a couple of fourth down pickups, some big catches by J.J. McAfee. Kind of got off to a slow start with that initial drop, but since then he's been money, catching everything that his quarterback Matt Duncan has thrown to him.
All right. So back at the Quattro, back at ABC News 4.
Yeah.
Back at headquarters. All right. We were fortunate years ago to hire Drew Tripp.
Okay.
Former all everything. He's just in Walterboro Hall of Fame, just like, just everything. You name it. Worked at the paper there and now works for us. So now he's funneling me information, right? So here's his latest text. A Carlton County win tonight. Now, Drew's not getting ahead of himself. Would be the first ever versus Ashley Ridge, the first over Dorchester County's Big Three Somerville Fort D in at least 12 years.
See, it's all about who you know, Dean, and you know everyone.
Lazik's kick is up. Going to be a little short. Carlton County's going to take a 3-point lead into the half. 2.2 seconds left. You would imagine they will snap it, kneel it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened on that kick. It looked like he didn't get his legs, into it. We saw a kick earlier in the game, that same area that hit the uprights, then the crossbar, and fell in for Colleton County, and that's the difference in the game right now.
The doink.
The doink.
It's going to be known just as the doink.
Actually, Dean, I posted on my own personal social media that picture of you and I. And hashtagged it mentor because, in high school, my first sports internship was with you at ABC News 4.
Craig Grant, by the way, not kneeling it down. They're going to just throw out a little swing pass and see what Ferguson can get. He's going to get plus 9 yards. I like that move.
until you fumble the ball and they pick it up and run it back for a touchdown.
I'm just saying, Kobe Peeler's just laying it all on the line. Why not?
Going for the win.
A 10-7 lead after 2 quarters of football. Friday night rivals driven by Low Country Chevy dealers. A surprising result right now. Maybe to some, not to Kobe Peeler. This is a guy who is energetic to be down there, energetic to change the culture and the mindset. And it seems like we talk about that all the time. But this is a guy, he was at Stratford in 2 years in the 90s, and that's when you had the Walkers and the Hands and the Neesmiths. You had the players. Right now, let's go down to the field. Erica Scrippa, joined by Coach Kobe Peeler.
All right, thanks, guys. We're right here with the leading team here. How you feeling going into the half?
All right. We got a few things we still got to clean up. Too many mistakes and too many penalties right now, but we're all right.
You think so? I mean, it's a pretty fair score at the moment.
Yes, man. We think we lost some opportunities early, though, and we shot ourselves in the foot a little bit, but we'll get over that.
So feeling pretty good?
Yes, ma'am. Looking forward to it.
Sounds good. We'll see you in the next half.
All right. Thank you very much.
Hey, Erica, can you still hear me?
Guys, back to you.
Erica, can you hear me?
Yes.
When was the last time a coach like that called you ma'am? I mean, that is respect. He called you ma'am a couple times. I mean, that's very respectful. I think we have a new nickname for you in the newsroom, ma'am.
He called me man?
Yeah, no, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, ma'am. I'm a ma'am now. That's all right. I'll take it.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Erica, thanks so much. So Kobe Peeler not happy with a 10-7 lead as we go to the break. Carlton County, the Cougars with a 10-7 lead over Ashley Ridge. We're back after this. Welcome to the Zaxby's Halftime Show. Let Zaxby's cater your next tailgate with your favorites like the chicken fingers platter or the salad bar. Visit Zaxby's.com for a full menu and to find a location near you. Carlton County with a 10-7 lead today, thanks to a doink and a nice play by the Cougars. Each week, David Ayler Law Office is proud to highlight a scholar athlete from each participating school. The students selected will have an opportunity to win a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the seasons. Tonight's scholars athletes, Rodney Oldham, and there's Jamison Butler of Colleton County, 3.5 GPA, varsity football team captain, men of distinction, JAG, and educational talent. Congratulations to them. And then, thanks to David Ayler for being part of our team. Let's listen to David some more.
Joined now by David Ayler, this year's sponsor of the Friday Night Rivals Scholar Athlete. David, your first year getting behind the program, what went behind that decision this year?
You know, a lot of things. I'd seen the program in the past, always thought it was such a great program, and then when the opportunity came involved that I would actually get with it, just looking at everything that I already knew and then learning a little more about it, it just seemed like a great opportunity to partner up with.
Okay, and we're picking 20 athletes over the course of the season. It all ends with a $5,000 scholarship. Are you looking forward to seeing the look on that student's face when they get that money?
Absolutely, and I think just the ones that I've already met so far and continue to meet, just seeing these different young people and how they're already succeeding in life, and what they probably don't even realize is how much that's going to help them as they move into their adult lives.
And just for you, getting kids involved in extracurriculars in high school, I don't know if you were an athlete or not, but just getting kids on the field, or whether it's music or the arts, why is that important to you?
It means so much just from different levels of socialism, you know, getting to know people from different backgrounds, which will obviously come into play when you get into the workforce. Also just really just the self-discipline needing to understand that you have your schoolwork, you have your social life, but if you're going to play extracurricular activities, you got to make sure you fit that in as well. And those type of structures really help you out as you go on through life.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for tuning in to Friday Night Rivals, driven by Low Country Chevy dealers.
Josh Rogers and David Ayler as the rain starts to fall just slightly here at Ashley Ridge. Each week, Zaxby gives you a chance to win some free food. Who doesn't want free food? Who doesn't want free Zaxby's? Just text chicken to 44332 for your chance to win $100 worth of delicious Zaxby's. As we go to break tonight, the sounds of the Ashley Ridge Marching Band. Welcome back to your Zaxby's halftime report tonight. It is a 10-7 Carlton County lead over Ashley Ridge. Tonight's trophy is provided by All-American Awards in Mount Pleasant. They have been in business for over 20 years and are your source for corporate and sports awards. Remember, All-American Awards, when you recognize excellence, as in that camera shot with the double rainbow over the lights, the team, and the football. Thanks to All-American Awards in Mount Pleasant for being a part of the Friday Night Rivals team. Oh, we're back. E-Dog just in time. Let's go out to Steubenville. Throw it up for grabs. Who's got it? I got it. As he's falling down on his back. My belly like a snake. Friday Night Rivals, Nashville. If you're going to punt it, you better punt it quick. Pick it up and run with it, young man, and off he goes. Keep it in Myrtle Beach, just up in the Grand Strand. How about that? That was for the win, by the way. South Florence playing Hartsville. This was last night. Let's go to Dayton. The pitch to the outside, out of nowhere. The shoestring tackle. It doesn't mean anything. It's a touchdown run. Now this is the play. Is this the play of the night, Truck? I would think. Look at the strong, the balance, the left hand, the right hand. Ball crosses the plane. Columbus, Ohio. You been to Columbus, Ohio, E-Dog?
I have not.
Omaha, Nebraska. Where everything is better in Omaha, Nebraska. Look at the big block by number 2. When you're running into the end zone, turning around,
Tony,
you know you're playing well. How about some fundamental tackling? How about not fundamental tackling out of Milwaukee? Oh, helmet-to-helmet hit, really?
Did he cross the plane?
It doesn't matter. It was a helmet-to-helmet hit. Thursday Night Lights. We rock and roll on Fridays. It's a 10-7 score. We're back after this. You're watching Friday Night Rivals, brought to you by Zaxby's Halftime Report.
Gotcha. What up?
I also have the name of the band director. Oh, great. We didn't show the band long enough. Somebody's going to yell at us. We got so many nasty Facebook messages last week.
Really?
Which is fine. Yes. We showed him for like 12 seconds, but they want like the whole routine.
First half stats?
Yep.
Gotcha.
And then team stats.
Gotcha.
Welcome back to Zaxby's Halftime Report. It's time for our Spirit Award, Cheer of the Night. Colleton County holds a 10-7 lead. Fans, we're giving you an opportunity to vote for tonight's Spirit Award. To vote for home team, text Cheer A, no spaces, to 44332. To vote for the visitors, Colleton County, text Cheer B, no spaces, to 4432. Cast a vote for the Spirit Award. All right, so there you go. Cheer A, 44332. Cheer B, 44332. No spaces. Cast a vote. Results later tonight in our football game. Both teams back out on the field. It's a 10-7 game. Craig Grant to Tristan Nieves with about 9:03 left in the third quarter. The difference in this game right now. You're watching Friday Night Rivals halftime show brought to you by Zaxby's. All right, welcome back, everybody, to Ashley Ridge High School. It's a 10-7 Carlton County game. Quite a turn of events as Carlton County struggled early on. Let's go downstairs with Erica Scripps standing by with Coach Kenny Walker.
All right, team, so we're here right now with Ashley Ridge head coach. How are you feeling right now?
Well, we've let some things, we haven't executed very well. We've had some opportunities, kind of let Carlton County hang around. They're doing a good job, too. They're playing hard. So we just got to clean up some things and hope we have a better second half.
And you're going into the season right now 1-1, so that's a pretty good start. What are you kind of thinking about your strategy going into this game?
Well, we want to keep, we want to improve on what we did last year. It'd be nice to get a win tonight. But our goal is to improve each week, so we got to do better in the second half if we want to do that. But hopefully we're able to get some things straightened out on both sides of the ball and come away with a victory.
Got your key players in going into this half?
Yeah, everybody's healthy, so everybody's all hands on deck.
That's great. We got the energy, and you got the home team. Got that going for you.
Yeah, we got a good crowd. We dodged most of the weather, so that was good. And hopefully we give our crowd something to cheer about here very quickly in the second half.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much for being here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Dean, back to you.
All right, Erica, thanks so much. Kenny Walker, those cheers going to turn into screams here if he doesn't get something rolling. Just so impressed with Colleton County after not getting a single first down in the first quarter. Comes up with, I believe, 7 in the second quarter and really took control of this game in the second. And really it was their defense, I think, Everett, that surprised people.
Yeah, the defense has been outstanding really for the entire night outside of that, obviously, that one drive that Ashley Ridge was able to capitalize on. But, yeah, they've done a nice job. That kind of bend but don't break mentality has worked well for them. They'll get the opportunity to start the second half with the football, and let's see what they can do here to start the second half.
Yeah, another great point
And taking a look at the first half stats, we look at
what jumps out at you?
Carlton County, obviously Craig Grant. He carried the ball 6 times, picked up 29 yards, but passing-wise, 7 for 12, 97 yards, and 1 touchdown. So very effective with his passing, also able to run the football. His favorite receiver was Mr. Ferguson, who scored, had 3 catches for 31 yards. So all in all, a solid first half for Colleton County.
All right, so the kickoff open up the second half. Goes out in the end zone. Carlton County will take the ball, I believe, at the 35-yard line.
And offensively, when you look at Nick Cunningham was able to amass 87 yards in the first half. But again, the defense, when you look at it, the most important stat is Ashley Ridge only able to score 7 points in that first half.
All right, text Subway to 44332. 44332 for an opportunity to pick up some it's a cash card. Subway restaurants worth $500. Just text it 44332 and you'll be entered to win this Subway for a Year contest. One winner will be notified on October 30th. Thanks to our friends over at Subway. Time for your chance to win big in that cash card at Subway.
And Craig Grant, the opening carry of the second half. And Carlton County really had some momentum going there in the first half. Weren't able to pick up that much needed first down going into the half. Of course, just fresh out of the gates here in the second half, Craig Grant going to take it into his own hands.
Well, he's got the frame to carry the load if he could just get a little bit larger seam. And wouldn't Kobe Peeler love just to wear down this Ashley Ridge defense as Grant takes it up the middle again, sets up a 3rd and 4 from the 27-yard line.
He had the emotion and the momentum. Obviously, Ashley Ridge missing the field goal right there before the half. So to have the opportunity to take the opening drive would be huge for this Carlton County football team. Get that momentum going. A big 3rd down coming up here for the Cougars.
Direct snap to Pressey. Pressey gets to the outside again. Pressey, not a small individual. He has been kind of their go-to back today, 6'2", 190. Boy, you take a look at that backfield with Grant and Pressey in the backfield. Very impressive.
And just what you want to do is, again, just keep the chains moving, have a long, sustained drive, work some time off the clock, and as you mentioned, Dean, just wear them out. So let's see what Carlton County can come up with on this next particular play.
So they get a fresh set of downs. Snap back to Grant, going to move behind that right side of the offensive line. Just picks up 2, but again, controlling the ball.
You almost have to feel they're trying to set Ashley Ridge up. So take a look at the fans here at Ashley Ridge.
This is our Zaxby's fans cam. Some big fellas down there. He doesn't really want to look at the camera. She does. She doesn't mind posing. She doesn't either.
Model potential there.
So you've
got Zaxby's fan cam.
Almost a jumbo formation here. You've got 9 stacked inside. And here goes Grant straight up the middle for a first down. And boy, what a change of offensive philosophy right here. They've been running 3 and 4 wide receiver sets up to this point.
And this is just smash mouth football. We're going to line it up and just run straight at you. Nothing fancy, no wide receivers even on the field. Just a big formation. And we're going to have another first down for Colleton County. And have not even attempted a pass here in the opening minutes of the 3rd quarter.
5 straight runs.
And then you know what they say, Dean, if they can't stop it, just continue to do what's working until they stop it. So right now the advantage definitely in the favor of Carlton County.
Again, same formation. Pitch it to the outside to Pressey. Pressey puts the ball on the ground, is able to pick it up and fall on it. But after pounding the inside, they decide to go to the outside here.
I don't know if he took his eyes off. Yeah, he looked up the field before seeing the ball into his hands. That's why you have to make sure you secure the football first, then look upfield to make a big play. That's really the first kind of miscue of this drive so far for Colleton County.
Grant decides to cut it back inside. Looked like he had a little bit more room to the outside. He's going to pick up 1 or 2 to get it back to the original line of scrimmage, setting up a 3rd and 10. Clock ticking down now with 9 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
And a nice job of gang tackling by Ashley Ridge in that particular possession. They've done a nice job of bending but not breaking, as Carlton County able to put together 2 and 3 first downs on this drive that's taken almost 4 minutes off of the clock. But now a big third down coming up for this Ashley Ridge defense. Let's see if they can get that necessary stop on 3rd down and 10.
I think that's what they really would love to do, is to get a couple more minutes off of this clock. Get some points out of the drive. Big 3rd and 10. Going to go back to the pass now. Thrown up in the air. Great effort down the field by number 13 as Traquel Murray, the sophomore. But when he goes back and he looks at film, he had Navis wide open on the left side and never looked to him.
You saw the hand go up. He was there momentarily, but that's another particular pass where you have to put zip on it. You can't put air. Great coverage by Darius Smith, the junior linebacker. So time-consuming drive, Dean, for Colleton County, but will not result in points, but a punt coming up instead.
Lance Culcutt trying to kick it away from McAfee. This ball hits again. Well, the last 2 punts that Culcutt has had, he put it at the 1-yard line, this one at the 14-yard line, and I think that'll work.
Yeah, Jalen Levine touched the ball probably sooner than he wanted to. If he let that ball roll a little more, could have probably picked up another 5 or 10 yards on that, but inadvertently touched it a little too soon. But needless to say, still a great punt by Carlton County. And for the first time in the second half, we'll see the Swamp Fox offense take the field.
So they've took about 4 minutes off of the clock. That was 6 runs and 1 pass play. Now Matt Duncan takes control. He has no problem throwing the ball.
Yeah, a little jumpy feet that time. Really didn't get his feet set. Guess we're going to have I believe a penalty flag on the play. Duncan kind of antsy back there in the back field. Duncan had a pretty solid first half himself, going for nearly 100 yards. As we see the call, Dean's a legal lineman down the field, so that'll back up the Swamp Foxes.
Which is an odd call on a play where you see a lot of those on screen plays. But you're right, they're going to back him up 5, make it 1st and 15 from the 9.
Now they like Carlton County in a man coverage. Let's see if maybe again they can get Duncan on the outside and let him make a play.
They go to Ferguson. Or Cunningham drops the ball. That was
yes.
They're going to call it a live play. They're going to call it a live play. It was scooped up in the end zone by number 9,
Jamison Butler. And that was close,
for Colleton
Dean.
County. I think he threw it forward.
I don't think so, Dean. We look at, I believe that was Cunningham. It definitely looked, if we can take a look at the replay to see where Duncan, this is probably not the best angle. I think that other angle is probably better.
But what a heads-up play. What a heads-up play by the senior, Jamison Butler, on what was the officials are calling a
backwards pass.
Backwards pass.
Just like that, we talked about turnovers. You can't turn the football over. An unfortunate turnover and a heads-up play, as you mentioned, by Butler. And the Cougars with a 10-point lead.
And now you know what's going on the Colleton County sidelines. They believe.
Right.
They believe.
Maybe that's the break that they need. As we take a look here, so he's standing at the looks like
the 3-yard line,
and he catches it. Yeah, Dean, it looks like the 1 or 2.
Yep. I agree with you now.
And the official was right on top of it.
Absolutely. So nice job by the officials. Great heads up by Jamison Butler to not give up on that play.
Right. And we talk about it, Dean. It's the little things, like not playing or playing to the end of the whistle, not giving up on plays. You know, a lot of times once you may have seen the opponent kind of stop, you have a tendency to stop as well. But being in the right place at the right time, playing into the whistle, he didn't hear the whistle, and that's why Mr. Butler is going to be credited with a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
All of a sudden, it's a 17-7 game, Colleton County. So 2 things that Ashley Ridge got to be thinking about now. You have played such a great game against the number 3 team in the country. You come into this game playing a team that has not had a winning season in 11 years. And by the way, you've got a bye week coming up. Kickoff taken short by number 14. Going to take it to the outside of Ashley Ridge. Going to cut it back inside. That is Josh Linton, the wide receiver, the 6'1", 185 senior wide receiver with another nice return. One thing Ashley Ridge has done well tonight has been returning kicks.
Exactly. The special teams outside of the missed field goal has worked well for Ashley Ridge, as we see Mr. Linton here bouncing it to the outside in front of his sideline. But again, it does no good unless you can capitalize on the great field position. So you're at the 45-yard line. I think Uncle Mo, in terms of momentum, definitely on the side of Carlton County. Ashley Ridge really cannot afford to have a 3-and-out here.
Duncan has found a lot of success with Chavis. He's also had a lot of success tossing it to that guy, Cunningham. But Carlton County's defense has stepped up on first down, and a 3-yard loss. On the bottom of that pile is the guy who just scored the touchdown, and why not, Jamison Butler.
Yeah, Butler seems to be all over the field tonight. You look at Cunningham, really when Ashley Ridge had success is when they were getting the ball to Cunningham on the out in space, really around the perimeter. And lately, he's not been able to kind of elude this Cougar defense. The speed of Carlton County really starting to show now. They've done a nice job of kind of bottling up Nick Cunningham.
2nd and 12, Duncan back, looking right, throws right. He's got the man who just made the nice kick return. That is number 14, Josh Linton. Going to put him in a manageable 3rd down situation. 3rd, and it looks to be about 3.
And if you're the offensive coaches for Ashley Ridge, your money man by far has been Nick Cunningham. Maybe a screen here, something where he can use his speed in the open space. So let's see what they call here a crucial 3rd down and 4 coming up for the Swamp Foxes.
The interesting thing I've noticed sitting up here, it's one of the great things about sitting in a press box is just the view, but you get single coverage on McAfee at the top of your screen, much bigger, much larger than the Colleton County receiver. He's going to go underneath. That's big Josh Shower. We talked about him in the opening. He's a physical back. A penalty flag is thrown not once but twice. The touchdown is going to come off the board at about the 20-21-yard line.
But the bootleg worked to perfection. The defense kind of went with the flow. They thought Cunningham was going to get it, and again, give credit to the quarterback stepping up and making the throw there, Matt Duncan, to a wide open Josh Sharrow.
They're going to back him up from the spot of the foul. That's 5, and they're going to give him 10 on the play.
But more importantly, still a 1st down for Ashley Ridge, so this drive will continue. Sharrow with the nice moves, able to elude that free safety, pick up some positive yards, but looked like he got a little bit of help from a teammate.
Yeah, I didn't see the foul. I don't know if you saw it or not, but just watching Sharrow motor down.
Let's see where. Oh, right there.
McAfee
yes,
with the block in the back.
And again, probably a situation where Sharrow could have beat the defender without the help of that illegal play.
Isn't that how it normally is? Fake handoff inside, going to give it to Cunningham, who's going to go back to the outside with it. Faked it to Chavis. Cunningham picks up, looks to be 9 on the play. Now he's holding his right ankle. Looks like a cramp situation.
We've talked about the stable of running backs that Ashley Ridge has as we see Mr. DeMar Proctor-Floyd checking into the game for his teammate Cunningham, who deserves a rest. He's carried the mail often tonight.
We take care of the injury situation, the cramp with Cunningham. We're going to toss it to a break. You're watching Friday Night Rivals, driven by your Low Country Chevy dealers. It's a 17-7 Carlton County game. Welcome back to Ashley Ridge High School, where tonight Ashley Ridge and Carlton County. Ashley Ridge 1-1 on the year. Carlton County looking for their first win with a 10-point lead here with 6 minutes left. And the 10-point margin brought to you by Jamison Butler. A recovered fumble in the end zone put them up 17-7. That touchdown, by the way, Everett, was brought to you by Berkeley Electric Cooperative's Touchstone Energy.
A lot of times, Dean, you just need a break. You think back to the doink, the field goal hit by Colleton County in the first half, and then you had the fumble recovery for a touchdown. And when you're a team like Carlton County just trying to just get that elusive, that first win and build the program and just turn things around, sometimes you just need luck on your side. And so far, it's been on the side of Carlton County tonight. Good to see the workhorse, Nick Cunningham, able to kind of limp off the field. And I agree with you, Dean. Looks like it's just a cramp.
Coach Peeler was talking this week. He's got 116 kids out on the football field between the 9th and 12th grades, almost triple what they had going into the season. A lot of the seniors playing. A lot of these guys didn't even play last year or played second team. So even the seniors, you think that have experience, they're still into the program for the first year, still buying in. They try to go back inside. That's DeMar Proctor Floyd, number 4.
Just not a lot of running room. This front 4 for Carlton County, led by Malcolm Green, 5'10", 265-pound junior nose tackle.
Now Proctor Floyd on the ground as well. He looks like he's cramping as well. You know, the good news is they've got plenty of running backs. They could also go to Sherrill right now, number 44. Cunningham also struggled. Looks like number 7 is coming into the game. That's Janari Brown, wide receiver. Haven't seen a lot of him tonight.
The trainers for Ashley Ridge, they're the true MVPs tonight because they've made a couple of trips onto the field to check on injured players. But in most cases, Dina looks like, again, just a cramp.
Defensive coordinator tonight for Colleton County, Scott Bowers, was on Coach Leroy Riley's staff, longtime coach in Walterboro, led them to the state championship, a runner-up, undefeated season in 1990. A lot of credit to him tonight to get these kids to play well, and really have swarmed to the ball from the get-go tonight, haven't they?
I mean, sideline to sideline, these guys are pursuing, just doing a great job of gang tackling. As we take a look at scores from around the low country, Fort Dorchester still on top. Game being played up in Columbia, 27-14 in the third. Also, Somerville's fought back into the game. They trail at Berkeley 20-17, third quarter. Wando Warriors over Hanahan, 18-8, and still Sumter having its way with Goose Creek, 31-0.
I think the biggest thing for Kobe Peeler to be successful with this program is that he has got to have schools. He's got to have school support. He's got to have district support. And more than that, he's got to have community support. As we take a look at the rankings in Class 3A, and we've worked down these rankings tonight for a couple of reasons, and we can go on to the next slide as well, is there's only 4 teams in the entire low country. Out of 40 teams ranked in this state, only 4 from the low country. Timberland and Art Craig at 3A, and in 2A right now, St. John's is ranked 4th, Cross is 5th, Baptist Hill is receiving votes. Marion Brown doing a great job right there. But I always look at these rankings. And I think, how can there only be 4 teams ranked from our area? I mean, yes, the Upstate's great. Yes, the Midland's great. But there's some good football down here. It always surprises me this time of the year when you take a look at those.
And I think numbers. A lot of expectations for this St. John's team. Some high hopes for them. Also, Baptist Hill, led by one of the more exciting quarterbacks in the low country, Corey Fields. A great young man, threw for, I believe, over 400 yards last week. And then when you look at teams like Fort Dorchester and Timberland with Art Craig, you're right, team. We have some good football being played here in the low country. Sometimes we kind of get overlooked, but when given the opportunity, as we saw 2 weeks ago, Somerville beating Spartanburg. We see tonight Fort Dorchester leading against the #1 team in the state. So given our chances, we kind of hold our own. So expect to see more low country teams in the top 10 as the season progresses.
Crunching the numbers, by the way, with Heritage Trust Federal Credit Union. Look at the speed by McAfee, taking it to the outside, going to be pushed out of bounds at the 12-yard line.
It was a jet sweep that time for McAfee. Again, just a playmaker. Get the ball in his hands. If he can't throw it to him, just hand it off and let him turn the corner.
Jamison Butler with the play. You know who made that play, that jet sweep, famous? You know, because if you pitch the ball even a yard ahead of you and then the wide receiver goes for 80 yards, as a quarterback, you're 1 for 1 for 80 yards. And that was, Clemson did that a lot.
Yeah, you can ask Bob Stoops when Clemson played Oklahoma 2 years ago with Artava Scott. He had a lot of success on the jet sweep.
Cunningham back in the game, faked the handoff. Nope, going to give it to him inside. Going to have room for the touchdown, and he scores. Playing bumper cars along the way.
It's the pickle juice. I'm telling you, it's the pickle juice.
It could be about a 13-yard touchdown run. An explosive inside coming off the cramps in the right calf.
Yeah,
that
like
is your Berkeley Electric Cooperative touchdown by Nick Cunningham.
Just bouncing off defenders. Pretty big hole up in the middle of the defense. Really have not had a lot of success tonight running through that defense up the middle. He had most of his damage done on the outside, but a nice run by Nick Cunningham. That'll put him over the 100-yard mark.
So Ashley Ridge cuts it to 3, 17-14 with 5:37 on the clock. They ran off about 2.5 minutes on that drive, capped off by Nick Cunningham, the junior, 5'10", 175 pounds, making it a 17-14 Carlton County game.
Young man has worked very hard tonight, carrying the football for the Ashley Ridge Swamp Foxes, and right now the running game seems to starting to slowly but surely get going. Again, a big night for Cunningham. For him to really just absorb the hit from the secondary of Colleton County. Didn't faze him, and able to score the second touchdown of the night for the Swamp Foxes.
And that puts an end to a 17-0 run by Colleton County. It was a 7-0 game early in the first quarter. Matt Duncan hit Troy Chavis, and then a field goal by Colleton County. A touchdown pass by Craig Grant to Tristan Nieves, followed by a defensive touchdown, made it 17-7. Nick Cunningham stopping that run, bringing Colleton County lead just to 3 points.
Carlton County has done a nice job of responding when Ashley Ridge has scored tonight. Let's see if they can do it again, or if the Ashley Ridge defense can continue its momentum that they've had here in the second half.
Nieves trying to set up the Ashley Ridge cover team. Swamp Foxes would have none of it. Short return out to about the 21-yard line, and that's where Craig Grant will set up his offense.
This Ashley Ridge sideline has been very kind of solemn, kind of going through the motions. You know, obviously that was a big drive, being able to answer the score from Carlton County. So now the crowd seems to be into it a little more, and that little energy, that kind of the 12th man. Let's see who's going to step up. Will it be the Ashley Ridge defense or the offense of Carlton County led by Craig Grant?
Craig Grant really trying to run the ball. Their last series ran 6 or 7 times. They're going to go back to the run. Ashley Ridge's defense is going to pick up the ball off the turf. He's going to run it in for a touchdown, but all 3 of the referees are signaling that the player was down on the ground. So no touchdown here for Ashley Ridge.
That's the second time tonight that Carlton County catches a break. As you can see, Darius Smith thought he had a touchdown, but to no avail as the ball was on the ground. As we take a look here.
Pressey going inside.
Ball still has possession.
That ball is out.
That should have been a fumble.
Grant steps up in the pocket, going to run away from pressure, going to the outside. Flag is down. This play's coming back. Number 5, Will Aiken with the missile tackle. Grant goes down. It's out right there.
Yeah, and he was on top of the defender, so technically he wasn't down.
Right.
Because I think it looked like Blaine Dubois was the one that kind of stripped the ball away from him, able to rip it apart.
Yep.
But unfortunately, he will not be credited with a forced fumble. I'm showing Kenny Walker and his coaches take a look at that on film tomorrow, they will not be happy because that definitely would have been a touchdown for Ashley Ridge.
Well, it's a tough call to make, kind of in the pile.
He probably kind of had his vision obstructed because there were players obviously in between him and the ball. But if you're Carlton County, you're definitely going in the wrong direction as Cougars now facing 2nd down and 21.
Grant's going to go to the right side behind Press. He's not going to have a whole lot of room to run. That Ashley Ridge defense has really stepped up to the challenge, being down 10 points, forcing a 3rd and long here for Colleton County.
Really not a lot of creativity to this Carlton County offense in the second half. Everything's been pretty close to the vest and safe. So facing a 3rd down and long here, you don't want to take a risk because you are deep in your territory, but you got playmakers on the outside. Worst case scenario, just throw it down the field. If it gets intercepted, it's just as good as a punt.
Confusion on the Ashley Ridge defense. Players coming in and out right now. 4 wide receiver set. Let's see if they move Grant outside of the pocket. Nope, he's going to stay inside. Just a little toss over the middle. Hoping Nieves could make something out of nothing. Make something out of about 7-yard gain, setting up a 4th and long right now. Ashley Ridge, Uncle Mo has been seen changing sidelines.
Yeah, Will Aiken, the 5'9" senior, there with the big stop. You almost have to think, had he not been able to get Nieves down, possibly could still be running down the Ashley Ridge sideline. So big stop for the Swamp Foxes. Now they'll go back on the offense as Mr. McAfee awaits at his own 40-yard line.
Notice Lance Calcutt in the last 2 punts have kicked it away from McAfee, has kicked it to the right, to McAfee's left. Let's see if he does it again. No, this is going straight at him. Ball's on the ground. McAfee recovers it right through the wicket. Lucky break for Ashley Ridge. Lucky break for McAfee, for J.J. McAfee. Yes, it is the glove. It's always the glove.
When
it doesn't matter if it's a Wilson third baseman glove.
And that's the 2nd time tonight that McAfee has put the ball on the ground. But fortunately for him, in both instances, he was able to recover the fumble.
So Ashley Ridge sets up shop at the 43-yard line.
J.J. has had a big night tonight. He's been the top target for Matt Duncan. Let's see if he can find him again. He's at the top of the field.
Duncan back, looks inside, going to give inside to Cunningham. He's got room to the middle, he's got room to the outside, cuts it, pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Cunningham starting to really get loose now. We talked about Uncle Mo really starting to shift to the side of Ashley Ridge as he's running through tackles, arm tackles. You got to tackle low. Cunningham with some serious upper body strength. So you got to go low on guys like that and try to tackle shoulder pads. Usually does not work well for you.
Offensive line, especially that right side. 2 sophomores, Tyler Kraft, number 74, number 76, Cam and Petrick, doing a great job for Ashley Ridge on that side. And the left side as well. Cunningham to the left, cutting it back up the middle. He's got great vision.
He really does. He plants that left foot and kind of turns it up the field, which is what you're supposed to do. You don't want to run east and west, but north and south, and that's exactly what he did. A nice stop there by Jalen Lawton. But Cunningham really starting to now get into a groove. He wants him to feed him the football.
Cunningham putting together 2 long runs here, 10 yards and a 5 yards. How much? 104 yards in the night for Cunningham. Sets out of the background, throwing out left, out to Chavis. He's going to get a 1st down and a little bit more. It looked like Cunningham was in motion a little bit. And also Duncan right now has got a little problem with his left leg. His calf muscle starting to cramp up a little bit as well, trying to stretch it.
And that's the 2nd time tonight, Dean, that I thought Ashley Ridge has gotten away with a little illegal motion. Guys kind of turning up the field a little quick. Referees are saying no, so we're going to side with the officials.
3 wide receiver set again. It's almost like playing 7-on-7 up the middle with Cunningham. The defensive end doesn't pinch in. Cunningham turns to the outside. And a really nice play by Josh Linton not to push someone in the back right there. You kind of see him kind of hold up on the block because it was going to be a block in the back. But another 7 yards, 8 yards for Cunningham right now. And they get this 4 wide receiver set. It really does become like 7-on-7 right at the middle.
Yeah, you have to kind of spread the field. You have to respect the wide receivers of Ashley Ridge. So, yeah, it definitely opens up the middle. And Cunningham being so elusive and so small, he kind of hides behind that offensive line and then able to kind of burst through. So, right now, he's definitely in the groove right now, and let's see if he'll get it again.
Sherrow set up as the H-back on the right side. Let's see if they pound the ball that side. Sherrow comes inside. Nice trap block up the middle. Cunningham again. Can't be stopped, won't be stopped. Another 7 for Nick Cunningham.
Yeah, right now you can tell that Carlton County defense, they're starting to wear down. I mean, he's getting into the second level without even being touched. And when he is being touched, it's almost like they're playing flag football. As you take a look at the run here, a great run by Cunningham up the middle. He's touched there, arm tackle, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just not able to get Cunningham on the ground, and that's why he gets into the end zone.
So Cunningham with a 14-yard touchdown run to put Ashley Ridge up, following a 13-yard touchdown run. And that came with just about 3 minutes ago. But I agree with you. This Colleton County defense looking a little tired right now. It's a PAT by Lasik is good.
Cunningham getting stronger.
Makes it a 21-17 game. Plays very well with cramps in his calf.
It's got to be the pickle juice. Ever since he drank the pickle juice, the man has been unstoppable with 2 touchdowns. And just like that, we've gone from a 17-7 deficit for Ashley Ridge to the Swamp Foxes on top, 21-17.
So this is that situation where Kobe Peeler said, you know, this is where my team's got to grow up. They've got to learn a little bit. They've got to be able to play once they get down. When things start going bad, this is when I want to see the character of my team.
You look at body language. You try to read body language, and right now it's not good for Colleton County.
Sinclair cares. We are standing strong for Texas. ABC News 4 and My TV Charleston all pitching in today, having a big draw and a big drive along with our parent company, Sinclair. You can donate monetary donations to abcnews4.com. Sinclair Broadcasting Group. We're matching total viewer donations to the Salvation Army, collected up to $100,000. We started this at about 5 o'clock this morning. Hope you guys can go and check us out and make a donation tonight. Help those in Texas. Short kickoff taken to the 2-yard line by Nieves. He's going to take it to the outside. A little different burst of speed than we saw. So you go back and you look at the 2 Colleton County drives this half. The last one was 3 and out. The other one was 6 plays and then the punt. But right now, Ashley Ridge is owning the offensive line. More importantly, they're owning the defensive line as well.
And if you're Kobe Peeler, you got to open it up here. You had a lot of runs here in the second half. They've not worked. You have the wide receivers on the outside. Let's see if he'll unleash the offense and let Craig Grant put the ball in the air.
I think the concept of, you know, running the ball as much as you can is good, but if you're not picking up any yardage, it's not good. That pass play is going to pick up 7. Late tackle out of bounds, looking for a flag, not going to get one. But again, Ashley Ridge, the first 2 drives of Colleton County's drive, really starting to stack the middle. Love the idea of Kobe Peeler coming out and throwing it to the outside.
Nice tackle by Najee Hill. But you're right. And also, more importantly, Dean, they got to give their defense a chance to get a little rest. So they got to get some first downs here.
Same play. Great block on the outside, giving Nieves the ball's on the ground. But did it go out of bounds? Did not go out of bounds. Nieves put the ball on the ground. Ashley Ridge comes up with it. Looks like it's going to be number 21, Darius Smith.
I've called his name several times tonight. Looks like he has a cramp that he's going to run through. But as you take a look here, it would have been a first down. A nice simple toss out to Nieves. And just simply put the ball on the ground. And Ashley Ridge doing a great job of running sideline to sideline.
Rodney Oldham created the fumble. I don't know where we got the championship belt or why we're busting it out with a $1:42 on the clock.
That's
in the third quarter.
Ric Flair. Maybe if you force a turnover or you get recover a turnover, you get the championship belt.
So they take the ball at the 48-yard line. Duncan flushed. He's going to unleash it. He's got a wide open man. That is number 14, Josh Litton, who can't hold on to the ball. But my goodness.
That ball stayed up forever.
Let's just talk about the arm strength. That ball was launched at about the 45-yard line.
That's thrown across his body as well. That one was almost too easy. He was wide open. I think he kind of saw the defender coming from Carlton County and may have taken his eyes off the football for a split second. That caused him to not be able to come up with that big throw. But you're right, Dean. Outstanding arm strength by Matt Duncan, considering that he was throwing across his body.
Yep.
Kind of like just a heave-ho, just threw it as far as he could.
Well, he had him wide open. Again, let's see if they go back to Cunningham. Sarah with the block, cuts it back inside. That play just continues to work.
And he continues to run.
He goes out of bounds. Kenny Walker's looking for the late flag. And somebody talks the back judge into the call because he wasn't going to make it for 15 yards. You see Cunningham, what a great runner he has become and is. You know, I say it every week. The great thing about doing these games, you just see these talent that you never have we never have an opportunity to see a guy like Nick Cunningham run.
And again, you know, you talk about it, this being the second half, he seems to be getting stronger as the game goes along. And the missed tackles are starting to stack up for this Carlton County football team, and that's just a sign of either fatigue, lack of focus, and these are the things that they can improve on from game to game that will allow them to have a successful season.
All right, so let's take a look at Darius Smith. He wants his belt. He got it from an assistant coach, and he's going to show it to the student body. So it must be a turnover belt.
Right. Very similar to, I think, in baseball, when guys hit a home run, they get a sledgehammer. I know Monty Lee has implemented that up at Clemson, so maybe that's what it is.
1st and 15. Cunningham running far to the left to pick up 10 yards. A nice job by his wide receiver on the outside.
I'll tell you, Dean, if I'm the offensive coordinator for Ashley Ridge, I have 3 plays. Nick Cunningham to the left, Nick Cunningham to the right, and Nick Cunningham up the middle. Just take your pick. Because right now he has definitely put this football team on his back and will hopefully, for his sake, lead them to victory.
Picks up another +9 and makes it a 2nd and short right now. Carlton County made a couple of nice stands early in this game. Let's see if they can do it here. You're going to pitch it to the outside. And again, it's just the vision. Another touchdown, 3rd in a row, 3rd straight drive. This touchdown brought to you by Berkeley Electric Cooperative's Touchstone Energy. Touchdown, 3 straight drives, 3 touchdowns by Cunningham. But he had Colleton County guys coming in on the right side, and look at the vision.
Just to be able to slide to the left and avoid the tackle. And I think it's safe to say Uncle Mo is definitely on the side of Ashley Ridge right now, as Nick Cunningham has put on a show here in the 3rd quarter. I'd have to say he's the leading candidate right now for a player of the game.
You like that?
I don't know much, but I'd say he's the leading candidate.
Point after makes it a 28-17 game with 5:37 left on the clock. It was 17-7. Since then, they have put up 21 unanswered points. Ashley Ridge and Kenny Walker's crew answering the call coming out of the half.
You take a look at the differences of the sidelines. There's a lot of energy, excitement on the sideline of Ashley Ridge. You look at Carlton County kind of walking on the field, hands on the hips, kind of hanging their heads. And this is the body language that you really can't have. I know these guys are young or some are new to playing football, but these are the times where you really have to push yourself and challenge yourself. This game's not over. I mean, you're only down by 11, 28-17. You had a 10-point lead, maybe not even 10 minutes ago. So, get the ball here, take your time. If you can, obviously go down and score, and you're right back in the football game. So let's see how Carlton County responds to an adverse situation right now, because Ashley Ridge has definitely found their groove.
Yeah, they definitely need to put something on the board right here, control the football. A low line drive going to be picked up on the right side. And again, as number 3, Deja Ferguson, the wide receiver, taking it out to about the 30-yard line.
And ideally, of course, you always want to put points on the board when you're on offense. But from what we've seen over the last 8 minutes of game action, that Carlton County defense, they're a worn-out bunch. So the last thing that Carlton County can afford to do right now, fortunately for them, there's only 35 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, so they'll get the break at the end of the quarter. But right now, they need as much rest as they possibly can get.
They're going to take it straight up the middle. The one running back that we've not seen today, it's Pressey, is Wilkie.
Pressey, a 6'2" junior.
Nick Wilkie, number 29. Peeler had a lot of good things. Coach Peeler had a lot of good things to say about him. After a 4-yard gain, they go back across the middle, and he is wide open.
Ooh.
Nice look. Great block by number 17. That is Jamari Johnson with the reception, and then the block. And they're going to call a foul on the block.
I
call a penalty on it.
It looked like it was from behind. Let's see. Can't see it from that angle. Nice play by Carlton County. A nice catch and run.
And they needed a pickup like that. And again, this is the second time in this game and a second big play that has been brought back by a personal foul call.
That's a 15-yarder. That one's going to hurt. As we take a look here at the replay, you see Grant with the pass. Here comes the big block right here. Oh, that's on the side, Dean. That's definitely not, I don't know, maybe a crackback or not even a crackback in that situation. Looked like he got him, square on and right to the side, so definitely not a block in the back. But they call a personal foul.
It's Javon Williams with the block. Look clean from up here. David Herron will find us next time he sees us and clarify for it. But it is a 1st and 10. They just lose yardage, field position from the 47. It's going to be a pass up top. Ashley Ridge doesn't bite. And that is number 20 coming up with the interception. That is Ombre, I'm the man. Nope, I take it back. It's number 21, Darius Smith. And guess what? He already has the belt.
So he gets to retain the championship.
He gets the
there
belt
it is.
back again.
And, obviously, unfortunately, Carlton County didn't catch a break. That quarter, that play should have never happened. They tried to wind the clock with 2 seconds left, and they didn't start it.
We'll take a look at that when we come back. As we head to break, an Ashley Ridge run fueled by Nick Cunningham. 3 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter. It's a 28-17 game as Colleton County tries to keep it close here in the final 12. Welcome back to Ashley Ridge, where the Swamp Foxes took control of this football game with 3 touchdowns, and their defense came to play as well. The halfback pass picked off by number 21, Darius Smith, but a great point by Everett. Tell everybody what you saw.
Yeah, so what happened was the play, remember, it was a big play at the penalty, so the official was trying to wind the clock, saying, go ahead and start it. There was only 2.9 seconds left, so had they started it when he gave the initial signal, that play would have never occurred.
All right, possession taken, 24-yard line. Nick Cunningham, who else, goes right up the middle and is going to go for another 12 yards, if not more.
How many carries does Nick Cunningham have tonight?
I don't know. Let's check with Stat Boy. Stat Boy, how many carries, yardage total for Cunningham?
It seems like he's carried the ball at least, I'd say, 10 to 15 times in the 3rd quarter alone.
He's up to 166 yards, and we've got another player down.
So the cramps and humidity really starting to catch up with these athletes. Somewhat of a humid night here at Ashley Ridge.
Say again. He's up to 180 after that carry. How many carries does he have? 20 carries for 180. 20 carries for 180.
I think he will earn a nice ice bath tonight or tomorrow for sure.
Let's take a look at tonight's smooth move of the game, brought to you by Yaden Chiropractic Clinic. It's always a great surprise. This is going to be our stop of the night. Lou Gray, never stop learning. This was the stop of the night. Also the heads-up play of the night. Defensive touchdown by Jamison Butler, number 9 of Berkeley, the Will Lou Gray Opportunity School never stop learning.
Yeah, we kind of thought that would be the play that could potentially give Carlton County that break that they needed, but since then it's been all Ashley Ridge. Nothing has gone right for the Cougars since getting the fumble recovery for a touchdown.
That's really a great point. They really did have the momentum. The sidelines was jacked up. They were good to go.
To taste victory, but again, football is a 4-quarter game. You have to play all 4 quarters, and right now Ashley Ridge trying to pick up their second victory of the season.
The defense has really stepped up while Colleton County's defense has struggled. This is number 4 back in the game. DeMar Proctor-Floyd taking it up the middle. Now you watch Ashley Ridge is trying to grind the clock out here and get out of this thing with a W. 10-20 game started about 30 minutes late because of a nasty storm that moved through this area. DeMar Proctor-Floyd, you see him, 5'9", 170. He's got some great stats on the year, but you see as this team goes forward, you know, they have the quarterback, even though a young quarterback, a sophomore quarterback, that's got the ability and the potential to do it.
And the luxury of having 2 outstanding running backs to kind of keep somebody fresh in the backfield behind, don't they?
Proctor-Floyd back in the middle. Nice stop inside by number 21. That is Jalen Lawton.
Lawton's got to be in double figures in terms of tackles. He's been an active participant tonight for that Cougar defense. We're going to have another stoppage of play. This time a Cougar down with a cramp.
You know, I don't know if this is number 34 down on the play. That's John Hennigan. The last time you had a cramp?
It's been a while.
You remember it, though?
I just try to drink a bunch of water, and that alleviates that.
I'm just saying, you never forget it. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, it's like somebody has shot you in the leg.
And as we get older in our age, it seems like it always occurs mostly at like 2 o'clock in the morning when you're sleeping and it wakes you up.
All right. Here's tonight's smooth move of the game, brought to you by Yaden Chiropractic Clinic. Take a look. Nice hit, quarterback, and then the second turnover collected by number 21, Darius Smith. Coming out of nowhere, sky ball. 3rd and 3 right now. Oh, and a nice hit on Proctor-Floyd, who keeps running, keeps going. I think we'd like to take it back. And a great block downfield.
You got 2 Cougars down in the backfield right at the initial contact, and that just kind of sums up the second half for Carlton County. In position to make a play, to come up with a big stop on 3rd down, but unfortunately, just like with Nick Cunningham, not able to wrap up, get the running back on the ground, and it results in a big play for Ashley Ridge.
There we go. It's our new Yaden Chiropractic Clinic smooth move of the game. Take a look. Spins off inside. 1 tackle, 2 tackles. There's the injury you see at the bottom right corner, and then Proctor-Floyd gets a nice block downfield by Litton. Brought down at about the 16-yard line.
I think it's kind of safe to say that maybe some tackling drills may be in store for Carlton County, because that's another facet of the game, a fundamental, you know, that Coach talked about. And even when you're tired and you're fatigued, and right now, while they may have more numbers, they just don't have the depth that they necessarily need to compete against these bigger schools, and that's one area that hopefully Colleton County and Coach Peeler will be able to address the rest of the season and in years to come.
That's Jalen Lawton down, looking at his right knee at about the 42-yard line. Looked like he was almost leg whipped by one of his teammates. Lawton had a great game tonight.
He's had a phenomenal game, Dean. We've called his name several times tonight.
You know, the interesting thing, you were talking about realignment earlier in our broadcast and talking about, you know, the bigger schools. Well, what happened recently, every 2 years, the South Carolina High School League, they start looking about their realignment plans. Carlton County is scheduled to move up from 4A to 5A next year. They had appealed the move. The high school league denied them. They're going to take their case now to the upcoming classification meeting. Berkeley and Stahl also asked to be moved to 5A. Both were denied, but Berkeley won its appeal. So Colleton County hoping that they could stay back in 4A. They go through these discussions about every 2 years. And as you know, the decisions are made on on school size, attendance size in the school. Colleton County ranks 45th in the state out of 217 schools. Somerville and Ashley Ridge, Fort Dorchester in the top 10. Wando, of course, ranks number 1 with 4,365 students. And when you look at this Colleton County team now moving up to play in that most likely 7-5A region, or unless they create another, a 5A region in the Low Country. This is why Kobe Peeler is, he's happy that he's got 116 kids out here from 9th to 12th grade, but he knows that because he walks the hallways every day. Right? When you're seeing a 6'4", 280-pound guy walking the hallway that's not playing football.
Yeah, that's an issue. We that's when it's a problem, and that'll be his biggest challenge. It's just simply to be able to recruit his own school and get these kids to kind of come out and play football.
All right, so our Cheer of the Week winner, take a look, Ashley Ridge. Thanks so much for taking part. They had it going on tonight, as did the football team. Early on, not so much, but really came in with a great performance here in the third quarter, highlighted by Nick Cunningham.
He's back in the game right now, giving his teammate DeMar Proctor-Floyd a little break. It seems like here in the third quarter, he probably averaged about 10 to 12 yards a carry in that third quarter alone. Let's see what he can do here.
He likes it from about 13 yards out. They're going to give it on McAfee on a little sweep inside.
This is where you just
Cunningham
another cramp.
You got one down on the line of scrimmage, and you got Cunningham back at about the 15-yard line. That was McAfee down at the line of scrimmage. He is up. Nick Cunningham is not up. And another stoppage in play by the official.
I'm telling you, they should have pickle juice just falling out of the sky right now. The guys just open their mouth and let the...
You're big on the pickle juice.
It works. I mean, Cunningham, of course, he went down in the third quarter, got a little swig of the pickle juice, and came back and had a pretty big third period that was able to put Ashley Ridge back on top, give them control of this contest. So Ashley Ridge, they're off next week, and then they play at West Ashley on September the 15th.
I think they've got a very favorable schedule when you take a look at what they've got. They really don't have any of the big boys back to back.
Right.
I asked Coach Walker how he felt about. He's got it down there in the scrap paper. How he felt about having this bye week. He said, "I like the bye week. We have the Labor Day holiday to come up." Now he would have not liked the bye week, I think, if he would have lost his football game.
Right.
But you come in and he doesn't have those. He doesn't have Somerville, Fort Dorchester back to back. And I think the schedule sets up very favorable for them. And again, this is a program that I think has the ability to knock on the door of the very elite in Region 5A, if not being a top 10 team in this state.
And of course, when you have running backs like they do here at Ashley Ridge, led by Nick Cunningham. And, man, like you mentioned, Dean, you have a quarterback that's very capable of being able to throw the football in terms of Matt Duncan. You have wide receivers, J.J. McAfee. You have everything that you need to be successful. So it's just the little things, the toughness and being able to play 4 quarters of football and not having a letdown. Those are the types of things that can get you from being a good football team to being one that can seriously contend to win a state championship.
And I think, again, I started this conversation earlier, but Kobe Peeler and his coaching staff and those players earned and deserve the support of that school and of that district and of that community. And that's something that Coach Peeler really does talk to his kids about, because he said he experienced it in the upstate, is that, he wants these kids to be involved in the community. He wants them, for people when they walk through town, for people to say, hey, look, there's Craig Grant, what a great kid.
Right.
And I think that's just all part of the process, because somebody said to me the other day, how long is it going to take for you to bring up Derwin Walker and Norman Hand and all the great Walterboro guys of the past? Where are we? 9:53 in the fourth quarter, right? They may have thought it was over in that. But again, they set the standard. You want some chicken? You want chicken done the right way? Zaxby sets the standards. This is our fans cam. Ashley Ridge, student body, dressed in all red, white, and blue tonight. Take a look at them. You could bring a megaphone into a football game.
There you go. Yell, scream, and cheer. Of course, Zaxby's would be a great place, too, as we see Mr. Cunningham trying to get the cramp out. That's a good one, too, as you can see. Zaxby's tomorrow. A lot of college football. Citadel hosting Newberry. I believe that game's going to be shown right here on my TV, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, Dino? I believe. 6 o'clock. Of course, Clemson and Carolina in action tomorrow as well.
What time's the Clemson game?
That would be 12 o'clock, which we also call as the Big Ten hour.
2nd and 7. Proctor Floyd to the outside, cut into the inside, spin move again, and just driving, fumble, ball in the end zone. Scrum ensues.
Who's going to come up with it? There's a lot of dirty play going on in the bottom.
They're going to give it to Carlton County. Carlton County gets a break with 9:33 on the clock.
And that'll get the Cougar faithful up. It was a great run.
DeMar Proctor Floyd fighting and fighting for extra yardage.
It's kind of like back in the day, Dean, when I used to play video games. You hit the triangle, and that was like the spin button.
Was that the triangle?
That was the triangle. Unfortunately, he could not hold on to it. And you talked about Colleton County needing a break. They'll get the touchback, and they'll have a first down and 10 from their own 20-yard line. But a great run negated by the lack of ball security by Mr. Floyd.
Well, if Carlton County takes a look at that clock, there's 9:33 left. It's an 11-point game. You said it a minute ago. You can put together a strong drive, get a touchdown, and they're not out of this game. Feels like it, looks like it, but they're not.
Just takes one play to get you back into it.
Pressy up the middle for very little yardage. They've not had success up the middle between the tackles tonight at all.
And I will say this, they've not had a lot of success stopping the running game of Ashley Ridge here in the second half. So, yeah, there's a lot of time left, 9 minutes, but I would kind of maybe get in that 2-minute offense, not going to too long of a scoring drive.
Right. Pick up the pace of play.
Exactly.
3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. You're going to throw it to the outside, thrown outside of, that's number 17, Javon Williams.
Right now, Ashley Ridge, they're not even worried about the deep ball. Essentially, they got 11 guys really at the line of scrimmage. So, again, sometimes even if you don't complete the pass, you still have to throw it to keep the defense honest, keep the safeties a little deep, not having them walk up to the line of scrimmage.
Nieves, the main man that has done the most damage tonight, number 2. Grant back. He's got 2 receivers. He can step in the pocket, throw it outside. He's going to be off the mark.
Threw that one with confidence. Unfortunately, not able to hook up with his wide receiver, but it's like night and day. Like with most quarterbacks, when they have pressure, when they're comfortable in the pocket, and you give Grant an opportunity to kind of step up and get his feet set, he's pretty lethal. Just unfortunately that time, the pass just a tad bit too low.
So another 3 and out for Carlton County here in the fourth quarter in the second half. And you go back to the start of this third quarter when they really kind of decided they were going to try to run the ball and establish the run game, where when they made their run in the second quarter, it was anything but. They threw the ball down the field. McAfee getting away from that punt. Another nice punt by number 22 for Colleton County, Lance Colleton.
I think McAfee a little gun shy after the last punt return where he fumbled the ball but was able to recover his fumble.
Let's take a break right now as McAfee comes limping off the field as well. It is a 28-17 game. 3 third quarter touchdowns by Nick Ferguson, the difference. There's 8:49 left on the clock. You're watching Friday Night Rivals, driven by Low Country Chevy dealers. Welcome back to Ashley Ridge. Lightning cracking off in the distance. 8:49 on the clock here. 28-17 lead. Carlton County. It's really been a game of streaks tonight. It was 7-0 Ashley Ridge on a Matt Duncan, Detroit Chavis quarterback. That was seemed like about 2 days ago. 7:41 in the first quarter. And then Carlton County put together 17 straight points, only to be followed up by 21 straight by Ashley Ridge, dominating on the ground.
Yes, indeed. It's been the duo of Nick Cunningham as well as DeMar Proctor-Floyd. Those two have done a nice job of really putting this team on their back in the second half and trying to lead them to a victory.
All right, Proctor-Floyd back inside. There's 76. That's Warren Randolph, big defensive lineman for Colleton County, getting a late shot in on Matt Duncan after the handoff.
You see Nick Cunningham right in front of us, Dean, on the Ashley Ridge sideline. He has his helmet in his hand, still limping, so I think the cramp is not completely gone. So it looks like Mr. Floyd will have to do the duties for the next 8 minutes and 20 seconds.
8:20, yep. Again, 4 wide receivers setting up a 7-on-7 drill in the middle. Carlton County stuffing the line of scrimmage. Ball on the ground, looks like a broken play. Duncan's going to be sacked. Maybe a loss of 1 or 2 on the play.
But smart play, nothing there to play. Got disrupted by the bad snaps. So just get what you can, get down, protect the football, and live to see third down.
Yep, great point.
I have every once in a while, Dean, I'll have one of those. Great point. Not often. Just do what I can.
You've done well, man. You've done very, very well.
Well, I mean, I learned from you 20. Geez, my high school reunion was this past July. That was my 25th.
I saw
so that would be about 29 years ago, Dino, hanging out with you at the old Channel 4 newsroom, doing the updates on the phone.
You've done very well, man. Very proud of you. 3rd and 5. Look left, come right.
Ooh.
Nice.
That was definitely a forward pass, but very close to being picked off. And
by the way, Jalen Levine, number 8 right there with a heads-up play.
Yeah, that was close.
He's a freshman. There's a lot of freshmen on this roster, and that's the thing that gives, I think, Kobe Peeler fills his heart a little bit, because I think there's a lot of potential and has been through the years. And talking to him on the phone for a while the other day, and then meeting him for the first time here, he's a likable fella, and I think he's going to get the job done here. This punt goes up, not going to be taken. Going to be spotted at a 32-yard line. And again, 7:11 left. Only an 11-point game. Our Low Country Chevy dealer's key player of the game. Who else? Got to give it to this kid, don't you?
This guy's been
Nick Cunningham, 180.
running, driving, doing everything down the field. He's been the workhorse tonight. Battled through some cramping issues. What's been most impressive is just his field vision. Able to see, turn it up the field, elude rushes, defenders, and just make things happen.
Grant goes to the air, quick hitch to the outside. That's Dajae Ferguson. Ferguson has been very quiet tonight. He's been one of their more explosive receivers. Had 125 against Fort Dorchester tonight. Ashley Rich has kept him in check. Here he goes again. Oh, what a nice block to the outside. Pick up the pace. You talked about it the last drive. Almost treated like a 2-minute drill. Again, just 6:36 on the clock. Watch the block here, Everett.
Outstanding block by the wide receiver. And a lot of times you don't even have to, obviously get the defensive back on their heels. Just shadow and not let them get around you. Just give your teammate an opportunity to, obviously get by that defender. So they're going back to the well and continue with the same play.
1st and 10 set up from the 44-yard line. Going to pick up about 2 on the play, but you're right. 3rd straight play to that short side of the field. Are they setting it up for something on the right side? That's where Ferguson is set up by himself on single coverage.
I just know playmakers need space, Dean. They need to be out in the open so they can make things happen.
Oh.
And unfortunately, what you're seeing is some of these receivers for Carlton County kind of giving up on routes because they don't think the ball's coming to them. They have to act as if it is, because you never know what's going to happen. It could be a broken play, and if you run hard, you might find yourself wide open.
That was Deron Singleton, just thrown a little bit behind him.
We got trips to the bottom of the field now. Let's see what happens.
Problems.
Yeah.
It was almost as if Grant wasn't even ready for that snap. He did recover his own fumble.
It's kind of like a rebound. You have to go for a rebound with 2 hands, not one. And you see here,
snap
kind of off to his right.
Snap was off a little bit.
Yeah. So unfortunately, 4th down, they're going to have to go for it with only 5 minutes and 35 seconds left. Again, throw the ball down the field.
Hannigan on the backside. Or no, that's Dubois. Sorry about that. Blaine Dubois just beat his man off of the edge.
He's going to fumble recovery.
Doesn't matter. 4th down.
True.
He's going to step up. Blaine Dubois, senior, 6'1", 195, with a nice game playing on the edge.
Of course, he had another forced fumble that he didn't get credit for, but you're right. Looking like J.J. Watt. I know you're a Houston Texan guy.
J.J. Watt has raised more than $15 million in about 3 days.
That's getting it done, but Blaine Dubois, the 6'1" senior, so quick off of the line of scrimmage, came around the defensive end and forced the fumbles. Technically, he should have 2 forced fumbles tonight.
Yep.
Stats only show 1.
He's a high motor guy, Blaine Dubois. Going to go back inside. I'm going to tell you something. I like this Proctor Floyd guy, and let me tell you why. Fumbled the football last series. You see how he ran that time of the middle?
2 hands on it.
Firmly secure. Picked up 5 on the play.
I think it's safe to say, I think he gets the
Somebody had
message.
a chatting. Somebody had a little talking to with them.
I definitely say ball protection here. You're trying to run the clock out. You have the lead. As you can see, we're under 5 minutes. Get what you can. Don't let them strip it from you, and just run this clock out. And more importantly for Ashley Ridge, they'll improve to 2-1 should they be able to do that. And Carlton County had signs of things starting to turn around, but just not enough.
Busting it to the outside, Proctor Floyd. Tell you what, Matt Duncan did a really nice job. Whether he wanted to or not, the coaches next door to us were screaming and yelling, let's get it going. But that clock worked all the way down to 1 second before it was snapped.
Jaden Smith with the stop. Dean, you and I, we've talked about it all night, about the maturation of Matt Duncan. He's played as a true freshman. Of course, all, I guess, high school players are nobody red shirts.
No,
so.
But he didn't play every game. Didn't start every game.
Actually, I think we called his first game that he started. Can't remember who that was against last year, but yeah. But to see what he's done now, talked about he's 2 inches taller, and we've seen him make some really heads-up plays tonight. One of them, not wanting to take the sack. Unfortunately, it was an intentional grounding, but had the right intention. Just couldn't.
Proctor Floyd back down on the ground again. Grabbing the back of his leg. We hope it's a cramp, right?
That would be best case scenario. Again, these trainers tonight.
They need to drink pickle juice.
I don't know if they wear Fitbits, but I'm safe to say their steps are probably approaching close to 20,000. Let's take a look. And Fort Dorchester, the number 2 ranked team in the in the state, they go up and defeat the top ranked team in the state, Dutch Fork, 41-25. So congratulations to Steve LaPratt and the Patriots as they remain undefeated. Also a final, Berkeley, they hold on. They defeat Somerville 26-23. Wando and Jimmy Noonan, they pick up their first victory of the season as they defeat Hanahan 28-14. And that was Sumter over Goose Creek 31-0.
Impressed with Berkeley, what we saw of them last week. Very athletics, got a lot of good skill players. Somerville had the big win against Spartanburg to open up the year, so a disappointing loss.
But they were missing
Joe Call. They were missing 8 guys.
Defensive starters?
8 defensive starters, and the one young man, I believe Hawkins is his name, who suffered this horrible injury down on the field. He obviously will be gone for the year. Chevy Silverado. We got to get a shot of my car. When we come out of this, let's get a shot of the car. The Chevy Silverado drive of the game. Because I drove it to the game today.
The new wheels of Dean Stevens.
17-14 game until Nick Cunningham took over. Matt Duncan to the outside to Chavis. This was about 2 minutes left in the third quarter. It was a 17-7 game, and then Cunningham said, "Put it in my belly."
Refuse to lose.
And that's the play I love right there. Saw the cutback, saw the opening. Made it 21-17, 57-yard drive with 2:11 left. He added another touchdown with 42 seconds left. It's 28-17. That's
the Dino Mobile.
That is the Dino Mobile. Do you like it?
That's a good-looking truck right there.
I'm trying to get you and Darren's picture, like a wrap, that I could put like on the side windows and stuff. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Sounds good.
Huh?
Obviously, we appreciate all the Chevy dealers here in the Low Country.
Yeah,
love it. That out.
By the way, behind that little hut right there is the Peanut Shack. I had salt and vinegar peanuts for the first time today.
2 thumbs up?
Yep, 2 thumbs up. Ashley Ridge punting it, a little pooch down to the side. Going to check up, stop at about the 12-yard line. And I'm going to just say it again for the 3rd time this quarter. A quick touchdown, an onside kick, and you're back in the game.
Stranger things have happened, Dean Stevens. Never say never. We've seen some crazy finishes, whether it be at high school or even at the collegiate level. I'll never forget, last year, 2 years ago, my wife and I went down to watch, because she's a Nebraska grad, the Nebraska-Miami game down in Miami.
Oh, I remember you went.
Yeah, Miami was up by...
It was bad, wasn't it?
23 points with like 8 minutes to go. And
Grant rolls out. Look out for Dubois coming hard across the middle to Nieves, and now he's off and running.
Uh-oh.
Doesn't throw a flag. Wanted to throw the flag. Couldn't pull it out of his back pocket. Nieves is going to go all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Now, we've been talking about all night.
Right?
That was the one they should have thrown the flag. We've seen a couple tonight where the flags were thrown and probably should not have been thrown.
About right there?
Yeah, just a little bit of assistance there from Mr. Nieves.
I like the fact that they went down the field, and I like that they attacked the middle of the field. They didn't do that for the entire third quarter. Grant's got to get them moving. 3 minutes on the clock. They're going to go back up the middle. The pressing ball is out on the floor. That's going to be an Ashley Ridge ball.
That's probably going to do it. Fumble recovery there made by Jack. Is it Brufree?
Jack Brufee. Sure, we'll call him Brufee. There's got a little bit.
Ripping it out.
Anthony Jackson, sophomore, 6'2", 275. Getting his big paw in there. You think anybody will call him maybe next year? He's 6'2", 275 as a sophomore.
I would say he's got some growing still to do as we see our championship belt being handled by Jack Brufee.
Jack Brufee takes it over.
So you can tell clearly that's a reward for coming up with turnovers. Now Ashley Ridge just 2 minutes and 50 seconds away from win number 2.
Oh, man, nice play in the middle. I like that. Legree, Bodison, Cooper.
With a name like that,
stepping in.
You never forget, and I've said his name several times tonight as well. And give credit to this Carlton County defense. That third quarter was very rocky for them, but they've not quit. They're playing and finishing this game out, and really done a nice job here in the fourth quarter, but just the third quarter was just too much from Nick Cunningham.
All right, we've got a new running back in the game, by the way, number 37. By the way, Elite Towing, they were elite today, and this is why. As we were moving our equipment, let's go back to that graphic. As we were moving our equipment, we had a little problem. The ground gave way underneath us to a big pile of mud.
Never good.
So our production truck, a little bit of back of the other pickup truck, stuck in the mud since about noon. Elite Towing said, "I got it for you. I got it handled." They brought a big front loader out. They came in. They were awesome to work with in Somerville. So if you ever find yourself stuck in the mud in Somerville,
there you go.
Or if your car breaks down, or anywhere in the Low Country, and you need somebody to help you out with the towing, be Elite. Call Elite.
That's right.
Appreciate their help tonight. 3rd and 7. Back up the middle. Going to be stopped again. That's Josh White with back-to-back carries. Clock's down to 1:19. Timeout called by Colleton County.
Looks like John Hennigan on the stop for the Cougars. Now, Dean, you guys next week, you and Dan will be back in action. Where will you guys be next week?
I believe we're headed to Porter Goud.
There you go, Porter Goud BE, I believe.
I believe it's BE Porter Goud.
Is it the Holy City War, or I forgot what the name of that rivalry is, but that should be a good one. John Canny doing a phenomenal job at Bishop England.
It's always a fun game to do.
Lost a tough one last week to West Ashley. Yeah, you'll be over on the banks of the Ashley River.
Yeah. This is both of those programs have obviously high standards and both play good, clean football. And the uniforms look nice too.
They do. Now, if this were a basketball game, there'd be a lot of Division I basketball coaches in the gymnasium over at Porter Goud looking at that D1 team that they have.
1:19 left. They're going to punt the ball here. Noah West back for Carlton County. They're just going to try to pooch it. They send 7 in. Doesn't matter. Ball's going to roll into the end zone. Spotted at the 20.
If you're Carlton County, you might want to stand on the 10-yard line and say, hey, you know what? Don't go backwards.
Right.
You don't want to necessarily stand on the goal line and have the ball take a funny bounce and hit you and land, and that would not be good. But again, 1:12 left. Ashley Ridge.
You like the odds?
I'm going to go with Ashley Ridge.
Okay.
And you talked about it, a bye week coming up next for the Swamp Foxes. So what better way? Just a good feeling. You're feeling good. You're 2-1. You could easily be 3-0. You play with one of the top 5 teams in the state. So right now things are looking on the up and up for Kenny Walker and the Swamp Foxes.
Carlton County, their own worst enemy here in the second half. Ashley Ridge done a nice job. Grant back. Here comes Dubois up against the middle. He's just going to let it fly, let it rip. That's Nieves. Got some good speed. But you've been saying it for the last hour. Why don't we throw it down the field and see what happens?
And nothing wrong with that pass. It's an incomplete pass, but okay, at least that keeps the secondary on their toes, on their heels. And you kind of loosen up that secondary of Ashley Ridge. So maybe a little more time, and Nieves would have been able to run under that, but incomplete pass, and It'll be second down coming up for the Cougars.
2 turnovers by Carlton County tonight, 4 fumbles total, 2 lost, 9 penalties. All starts to add up. Grant looks to run. Going to get a holding call. This play's going to come back. Grant moves it to the outside out of the 27-yard line. But again, they're going to call a holding play or a holding call. They're pointing at Pressey. 59 seconds left in the game. Been a great night out at Ashley Ridge. Big thanks to the crew today who, you know, come rain, come shine, come lightning, it doesn't matter. They're setting up cameras, they're pulling cable. We really appreciate the effort. Good work today.
And I got to tell you, Dean, I've had a lot of friends and colleagues just compliment, obviously, the team here at ABC News 4 and MyTV for just the top-notch production that you guys put on each and every week. Of course, you can catch the recap show with Darren and Scott Eisberg, the professor. About 15, is that 15 minutes? 11, 15?
You know, back in the day, they used to cap it at about, you know, they said you could have like 7 or 8 minutes to the whole show. Grant in the end zone, going to scoot out to the 1-yard line. Clock ticking down for 52 seconds. So we were really strapped for time, and as the years went by and the professor started working his magic, I think that show, I think we do 5 minutes of news at the top of the hour. He gets like the rest of the 25. We give Dave Williams about a minute and a half to talk a little bit about weather.
Well, hopefully, no offense to Dave, we won't be seeing Dave Williams a lot here over the next couple of days with that pending hurricane out in the Atlantic.
Let's be clear about something here. It's not a pending hurricane. It's definitely a hurricane.
Okay.
We don't, Dave, this is why I love Dave so much. And I have a lot of respect for the other weather guys in town, too. But the thing I love most about Dave is that he's conservative when it comes to predicting these things. He knows that it's still probably 10 days out from doing anything. So to say that it could come here, he'll never say that. It's irresponsible. Of course it could come here, but it could not.
Exactly.
Right? It may be the biggest hurricane ever to hit South Carolina, or it may be not. And he plays it close to the vest, and I respect that. And I think that's great.
Put fear in people, and people start buying milk and bread and stocking up on things that hopefully we won't need.
Somebody needs to give them some Zaxby's sweet tea. That's what they need down there in the red, white, and blue section. 3rd and 29. They're just going to try to run it out the side.
Good block.
I'd like to watch this team next year.
Both of these teams, if they can kind of keep what they have, and the teams stay together, they build that team chemistry.
Right.
They'll have another year under their belt to get some more experience. Some of the guys like you talked about, Dean, for Carlton County, who this is their first time playing organized football. Kind of let them go through an offseason and see what they can do.
Well, that's going to do it. A 28-17 comeback win for Ashley Ridge. At halftime, Kenny Walker probably not a real happy man. Whatever he said certainly worked. Nick Cunningham with a great performance. Saw a little bit out of Matt Duncan, what he's going to be able to do in the coming years. It was a 17-7 game in the third quarter after a defensive touchdown by Colleton County. Jameson's Butler recovery in the end zone. And then all of a sudden, not Richie,
but
Nick Cunningham took over. 13-yard run, 14-yard run, 13-yard run. All comes within about 5 minutes in the third quarter. And that makes it a 28-17 final score. Friday Night Rivals driven by Low Country Chevy dealers tonight. Tonight's trophy provided All-American Awards in Mount Pleasant. They have been in business for more than 20 years. They're your source of corporate and sports awards. Remember All-American Awards when you recognize excellence. Thanks to them for being part of our team tonight as well. And, of course, Berkeley Electric Cooperative's Touchstone Energy. They've been with us for years now, and we really appreciate them also. The Swamp Foxes have seen the trophy. They're at about the 35-yard line. Erica Skripek getting ready to talk to the Swamp Foxes. Carlton County moving down to the other end for 2 quarters of football today. I think that we saw what Carlton County can be. And then for the next 2 quarters, we saw what Carlton County, what Coach Peeler fears they are, and that is a team that once things start to go south, it goes south fast,
Right.
and they have a hard time bringing it back.
You just have to hang in there. You have to play through those things, but each week, maybe the first game you played solid for 1 week, and then week 2 you played good for maybe a half. We talked about it, Dean, tonight, 2.5 quarters. So eventually this team will put it together. They'll be a dangerous team. It'll be a team to be reckoned with, but just tonight was not their night. It was all Ashley Ridge.
I think that was BJ in there screaming all night, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. It all makes sense now. I tell you what, great to see these kids. Let's check in now with Erica Scripper. Erica?
All right, guys, so we're here with the winning team, home field advantage. Congratulations, Coach. How do you feel?
Feel good. It always feels good to get a win. It wasn't the prettiest game, but we'll take it any way we can get it. And we got a bye week, so we'll rest up, get healthy, and get ready for region play.
And tell me what it's like to have your players get to play on TV for Friday night.
Oh, it's fun. It's every kid's dream that plays football. They get a chance to play on TV. I know I didn't get a chance, and I know they're excited about it.
And it's early in the season, but I'm sure you're going to take this momentum into the rest of the season. Now you're 2-1.
Right, 2-1. Hope so. The kids, when we execute, we play hard together, we work together, we can do amazing things, and that's what we got to keep buying into, and the kids have done that so far.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, and here's your trophy. And you guys, congrats. Cheers.
Thank you.
JJ McAfee taking care of the hairdo. I like it.
Erica kind of got swarmed.
Yeah.
She's